Koe aku iti, koe aku rahi e te ti e te tā nau mai rā whakatau mai rā ki tēnei o ngā whakataetai. I tēnei wā, whai mai ia. I te mea, kua tatu mai nei koutou ki wainganui a tātou mō tēnei o ngā whakataetai e ki ana ko te NBA 2K18. E kite ai tātou, i te toa whakaihuaka no roto mai i te waipaunamu, e pakanga ana ki te toa whakaihuaka no te ika a Maui. A ki konei tātou kite ai, he hara ngā mea e whakatoa ai i tētahi tangata. Nō reira, kua tatu mai nei tātou ki te pokapū o tāmaki makaurau, ki konei Andy's Burgers and Bar, kia kite i tēnei o ngā whakataetai. Nō reira, ki konei he kai, kei konei he taonga, kei konei hoki he manako, i wainganui i wenei kaitākoro e rua, kia ki te kōwai te toa whakaihuaka. Nō reira, e te whāna. We are here for NBA 2K18 1on1 Championship. Let's make some noise!
In association with 2K, presents the NBA 2K18 1on1 New Zealand Championship.
And the nice little lob, boom, and there it is.
We found the top 16 players in New Zealand, and it's down to the final 2.
It will tie it up. They go for the 3 to win instead. Oh, yes, what Harry does.
Right here at LPL Studios, the epicenter of Esports.
He's got himself and he's got to drive through. Can he get it? Offload. Oh!
Who will take the title? NBA 2K18 1on1 New Zealand champion.
Hundreds entered the tournament, and this was what it was all about. Of course, now it is the grand final of the LPL Pro NBA 2K18 1on1 New Zealand Championship. Kia ora and good afternoon. My name is Duan, welcoming you in to this one, the big one, Asti. It's the grand final, and one is going to walk away as the champion of NBA 2K18 for 2018. My name is Duan. Obviously, you've got you, Ashley, in the hot box. Great to have you along.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me, mate. I'm super excited. The atmosphere is amazing right now. We got two of the best players in New Zealand at NBA 2K18 going up against each other. Into Shakopaki and Mini Slug. What a day. The environment is amazing. There's a lot of people out in Andy's Burgers Bar. They're just having a good time. It's going to be an awesome, awesome day.
And of course, if you are just joining us here on Māori TV, we thank you very much. Don't go anywhere because we are going to crown a champion, best of 5. Someone's got to take 3 and they'll walk away with it all. Now, Ashley, of course, we've got a special promotion for everyone here on Māori Television with Flavour, something that you are very, very close to.
Yeah, so we have come up with you guys and linked up, and we're doing a little bit of a promotion around some cash money for you to win. So every time you see our ugly faces, no, more pretty faces, whatever you want to say, pop up in the corner, all you need to do is count how many times that pops up and then head to flavour.co.nz. Tell us, there's one right there, how many times it pops up throughout the whole show, and if you get it right, you go on the draw to win $500 cold hard cash.
And who doesn't want to look at your pretty face, obviously, Ashley, so easy to count, of course, and $500. But if you're tuning into this one, of course, it's a grand final. We're about to get very, very real. So, of course, we want to give you the tournament explain and get everyone up to speed before we jump into this, the 2 best players in the country.
Kai te rapua te tangata toa o Aotearoa mō te whakataetai NBA 2K18 e te kamupene LPL me whakata Māori. Toko maha atu ngā tāngata I whakauru I te whakataetai nei, nā te kauma onoa nake ngā kaitākaro I kitea. Toko waru no te ika Māui, toko waru no te waipaunamu. Ia wiki toko whā ngā kaitākaro ka whakataetai ngā kēmu e toru ki tāmaki makaurau. Ka waimari e te tangata katoa, ka aroha hoki te tangata ka reitoa. Ka pakanga ngā kaitākaro whakamutunga I ngā kēmu e 5. Hei te toru te kau o mahuru. Te NBA 2K18 o Aotearoa, he whakataetai mutunga mai.
Yes, so there we have it, Ashley, of course. As you saw there, we had 2 different conferences. Some represented the north, of course, and some represented the south, and we're down to this one. One representative from the north in the form of Tisha Korpaki from Wainuiomata will take on Minislug representing Dunedin and the South Island. The tournament has been epic, plenty of great talent, but of course, 2 left.
Yes, and that's 16 of the best players in New Zealand. As you said, 100 players have registered, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and we're down to the final 2. So there's been a lot of good 2K play around in this tournament, but as you said, only 1 winner, 2 left. We've got a couple more games and we will crown that champion. As you can see here, this is the North Island bracket, arguably the strongest bracket out of the 2. Now to Korpaki, he is our finalist from the North Island bracket. He took on Taisino, who's a massive star in the NBA 2K world. There was Breakaway Airborne, who's representing Breakaway Esports out on the North Shore, beat Stone Cold Killer. We had Notorious God, another amazing player in this tournament with the North Island bracket, and Zarinic, close friends with Taisino. This bracket has been so tough, and to come out with our champion from last year, Paki, in this grand final is an awesome competitor. Now we're looking at Te Waiponamu bracket. This is the South Island bracket. Riz, your number 1 seed, dropping out in the South Island finals. Minislug will be representing the South Island today. Took on Tropic Superstar last week in our conference finals, which was a great matchup. A lot of good players in there. We had JD, who dropped out in the South Island finals as well. So it is going to be a great competition today, and South Island are looking to get one up on the North Island.
And there they are, the 2 gentlemen that are not too far away from doing battle, and one will walk away as the champ. Tisha Korpaki over there on the left, representing the blue, and Minislug will represent the South Island. There they have it, 2 people left. Great talent within this tournament, Ashley. But of course, when you look at it, you have to look at the champion, remembering that Paki is the reigning champion of this tournament. So he's the number 1 seed of the entire tournament, of course, the number 1 seed from the North Island. You look at Minislug, and he is the 5th seed. So it's fair to say he is a giant killer. So for you, where do you like the look of, and what player for you?
Look, my heart is with Minislug because, you know, I just love the underdog story. But if I was going to put anything on it, I'd have to go with Paki. He is the reigning champion. He's got experience. He's been there, done that, and he just looks confident, composed. I've been talking to him, and he's feeling pretty confident that he's going to come away with the win today.
Well, do not rule out Minislug, and of course everyone that is down there in the South Island cheering on their boy. Let's have a look at exactly how he made it through to the finals.
In week 2 of the tournament, Minislug went head-to-head with I'm Hutch. Minislug put on a great performance as he won his opening match with the Golden State Warriors.
He's happy with that one.
Despite Hutch claiming Game 2, Minislug took Game 3.
Minislug with the Game 3 winner.
Next in line was Riz, the number 1 seed in the South Island. Minislug was able to cause a major upset, being the 5th seed in this competition. He took Game 1 by a thread with the Cavs, then stole Game 2 with a 3-point dagger from Steph Curry.
It will tie it up. They go for the 3 to win instead. Oh, yes! Curry doing what Curry does.
Sending Riz home early.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end. Minislug, the 5 seed, knocks out the number 1 seed in Riz. Look at the disappointment. Congratulations, Minislug.
Minislug's next opponent was Tropic Superstar. Minislug managed to snatch victory in Game 1.
Has a definite 3 in their pocket. And then we have McGee with the easy shot, but still 3.6 seconds.
Despite Tropic's efforts, Minislug was able to clean sweep this match, advancing to today's grand final.
Let's do to the final.
Minislug, the winner of our South Island bracket.
There he is, Minislug from the South, Dunedin. Favourite team, OKC, and favourite player, the MJ. Now, Ashley, we look at that one. You look at the road of which he's taken to get here into this one, the grand final. And it's probably fair to say that he has actually started to build throughout the tournament, especially in the last one we saw last week where he took a sweep and he is ready to rumble.
Definitely. Now, he is the underdog going in today, but he has been the underdog in this whole tournament. So he's been knocking off your number 1 seed in Riz. He's had a great tournament. So if anything, he's going to be a bit more confident coming in today. He's going to be growing confidence, beating that number 1 seed. And hopefully he's got that confidence in himself to be like, you know what, I'm going to come out here here, and I'm going to take this victory.
And hopefully he can, but of course it is a tough ask, it's fair to say, when you are taking on the reigning champion. His name is Te Shakur Paki from Wainuiomata. He's been here before, he's played in front of the big crowds, and of course he's been dominant throughout the tournament. Let's have a look at how the champ made it all the way back here to contest the title one more time.
In week 1 of the tournament, our finalists from last year's grand final, Te Shakur Paki went head-to-head with Taisino. Coming second place last year, Taisino didn't make it easy for Paki as he took the opening game of this series.
Can they get the winner? Careful the pull-up. It's all the defense. Where was the defense? Where was the defense?
However, Te Shakur Paki kept his composure, winning the remaining 2 games and sending Taisino home early.
As the buzzer goes and we see the 2. There you go. That's
we
what we want to see.
go.
Next in line was Stone Cold Killer. Te Shakur Paki won this match confidently, winning 2 games to none as a statement that he did not need the Golden State Warriors to win.
See a 2-0 win here in match number 1.
In the conference final for the North Island bracket, Te Shakur Paki went head-to-head with Notorious God. It was a tight matchup as Notorious God took game 1.
Notorious GD will take out game 1.
Game 1.
Despite Notorious God's efforts, Paki took 2 games to 1, advancing to today's grand final.
He is happy. He's a happy man, and Paki is going through to our finals next week.
Yeah, there he is, Te Shakur Paki, representing Wainuiomata, favourite team, the Houston Rockets, and the favourite player, LBJ.
LBJ, great player, great season. Looking forward to seeing what he does in the LA Lakers this year. But Houston Rockets is an interesting pick for his favorite team because he does like to use Houston Rockets in this tournament. We've seen him dominate with James Harden, Chris Paul, and Clint Capella with that pick and roll game.
Absolutely. Well, there he is. He is the reigning champion. He is ready to rumble, confident as always. And of course, his gameplay has been excellent and at the highest standard throughout the tournament. But what I think is going to be very interesting when you look at both players, forgetting what the seed is, when Mini Slug in the 5 and of course Paki in the 1, it's around strategy. I think it's going to come down to 2 things, Ashley. One is the coin toss, which will be coming up very, very shortly, and of course strategies. The way they play the game is very different.
Yeah, I think Mini Slug likes to use the pick and roll, which is an awesome tactic because you can open up your shooters, spread the ball with your Golden State Warriors. Here we go. As you can see here, this is a bit of Mini Slug's gameplay. As you can see, Kyrie Irving penetrating and kicking out to the lane for the 3s. And he likes to have those teams that can spread the floor with the 3-point shooters, your Gordon Haywards and your Jason Tatums. But his penetration game is great, and then his kick out to the shooters, that's his key talent there with Mini Slug.
Absolutely, and just good ball movement always comes on the side of that when he starts to move the ball very, very quickly around the outside perimeter, to your point. Exactly so.
But what I want to throw out there is that he hasn't versed Paki's defense. Now, we're talking about the offense and driving into the lane, but what happens if you don't get into the lane? Then what happens?
Absolutely. So look out for that one in the way in which we believe Mini Slug will take on Paki in this one. But of course, let's have a look at Paki and the way that he likes to play and favour the isolation plays we see here with James Harden.
Yeah, so James Harden, as I said before, his favourite team is the Houston Rockets. LeBron James here, just isolation ball. He knows how to do dribble moves. He knows how to blow by his defenders. And you just look to see him just go past. Little lob there for alley-oops, but he's so composed in that isolation play. He knows how to break down the defenders, find the open cutters. It's beautiful play there from Paki.
Absolutely, and the pick and roll will be very, very good. You saw there a couple of the key movement there where they come up on the high pick and roll, and he knows how to drop down, and obviously if they don't come, he kicks it out. Very, very good. So look out for those 2 strategies. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's enough from myself and Ashley. It is almost showtime here in LPL Studios. This is the big one, the grand final of the LPL Pro NBA 2K18 1on1 championship. Let's get to it. Let's meet the first contestant from the South Island, representing you, Mini Slug. and he looks very, very confident. The trophy next to him, and look, flexing for the crowd and saying, I am ready, Ashley.
I am ready to go. He looks confident. Oh, I was just having a little bit of a geeze there. But yeah, Mini Slug there representing the South Island. A lot of his family are here as well. So it's a proud moment for him and for gamers in general. He should be very happy to be in this finals and to be able to walk down that way. Was that a runway?
That's the runway. It's the walkway.
Was he a gamer or a model, man?
As he can walk right in here into LPL Studios. But look, he looks comfortable, and that is important because he's up against the #1 seed and that trophy. The beautiful trophy, that is what it's all about. You want to leave here and you want to say, hey, I'm the best player in the country. But of course, one man stands in his way. He's been here before. He is the reigning champion. His name is T. Shakur Paki, all the way from Wainuiomata. Let's meet the man. There he is, coming down. He's ready to go. Confident as always is the man himself, Paki. He's got one of those trophies. He wants another. And of course, not one salute, but two salutes. It's his and he wants it. This is going to be epic.
It's going to be insane. Did you see him point at the trophy? You're mine. I'm taking you home today. I love it. The atmosphere is electric. We're just seeing your two competitors, the best from the South Island and the best from the North Island. It's exciting. It's exciting stuff.
I hope that everyone is ready for this one. Buckle up, because of course, this is the grand final. This is what is at stake, the championship. Now, just to reiterate to everyone at home, this is a best of 5 series. You need to win 3 of these matches, and they are 5-minute quarters, so they are 20-minute matches throughout this duration as we're about to get into this one.
Yes, now that's something that's very pivotal in this finals. Now, we've had, in the start of the competition, it was 3-minute quarters. We moved to 4-minute quarters last week. Now it's at 5 minutes, so there's a lot more around these games. You got to worry about your subs, who you're going to be picking to cover for your star players. There's so much more room and time to come back, get a lead, bring it back. It's intense. It's good.
It's who can handle the heat, as I always say, inside the LPL studio kitchen. But of course, the coin toss, very important, yes. Ashley. It is those who it'll be a coin toss, and then of course when you win, they will pick the team first.
Yes. Now, if you've just tuned in for the first time, teams are huge in this competition. Now, obviously, Golden State Warriors are the #1. They're overpowered. They're a very, very strong team. So if you do get to win that coin toss, hey, maybe you take Golden State Warriors in the first matchup, get a 1-0 win up, hopefully, and that sets the pace for the whole tournament. So it's very key. It's very, very key, the coin toss.
Absolutely. And what's interesting about this is, of course, is whoever gets the coin toss first is able to play that team twice. So, yes. Of course, let's head across to the coin toss. It is live. It's there with Kimmel and both players. You can see there in the left, the South Island. Let's have a look.
Do you want home court advantage?
Oh.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and who do you pick?
Let's go Golden State first.
Is that Golden State? Golden State, okay. And you will go with? Tēnā e te whānau, we have had the coin toss. The winner is on our left. We got Paki, and he is going with home court advantage, and he is also going with GS Dub, Golden State. No surprise there. Now, you have been in this spot before. How are you feeling going into this second final for you?
Feeling great. Had my good sleep, so I'm pretty ready for this, and I'm excited to play.
Cool. Now, strategy. It's going to be huge in this competition. You've always been forthcoming with it. Does anything change for you in this game? Nothing's
changed. As you see, if I made it this far, can't go back now, so I'm going to keep going with what I'm doing.
Well, good luck with you today, Paki. Now, let's change over to Mini Slug. Now, obviously, he went Golden State. Who are you picking today?
Cavs. Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay,
so we're going Cavs versus a GS Dub. Now, this is your first time in a final. How are you feeling, man? Are you living the dream? Are you flying on the carpet?
I'm feeling ecstatic. I made it all the way through these 8 weeks. I've done my best every week, and I'm going to try my hardest now, and yeah.
Cool. Now, a couple of rule changes. We now have 5-minute quarters, and it's best out of 5 games. You can also pick the same team twice, just not consecutively. Do any of these game changes affect your game in any way?
Not really. It's just more time on the clock, a bit more pressure, but other than that, not really.
Well, we got South Island going up against the North Island here. Pakanga kei te haere. So let's get into it. We'll go back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, thanks very much, Kimmel. Obviously, Ashley, that is it, right? So here we go. Paki will represent the North Island and pick Golden State first up against Mini Slug, who will take the Cleveland Cavaliers for you. How does that look for you going into this one, match number 1?
Yeah, look, it's going to be tough for Mini Slug to battle Paki's Golden State Warriors. He is our defending champion, as we've said all day, and he's got the best team in the NBA at the moment in the Golden State Warriors. So it's going to be a tough uphill road for Mini Slug, but I think he can do that. I'm happy that Paki's just not taking it easy, you know? He picked the powerful team, and he's going to try and get that Game 1 win and start that momentum for the whole tournament today.
Absolutely. What's interesting about that pick, if you were just tuning in for the first time, to your point, is that in other matches throughout, he has actually been quite bullish, and he hasn't even picked Golden State, who have been very, very good.
That's what I mean. So he's kind of been lax with a few of the people that he's been playing today, but this... You know, $5,000 up for grabs today, a trip overseas to see an NBA game, and of course the title of our NBA 2K18 1on1 champion. He ain't gonna take it easy. He's going right now. He's taking the powerful team, and he's gonna get that 1-0 or try to get that 1-0 up on Mini Slug.
Absolutely. And then when you look across to Mini Slug, talking to him, very confident. He looks very good and very buoyed, and that's very important in a tournament like that, like this. Sorry, but when you look at Cleveland and the way he likes to play his strategies, how's that going to affect Paki taking Golden State versus Cleveland?
I think it's a good pick. I think Mini Slug is a good pick with the Cavs. He's comfortable with the Cavs, and he's going to be using LeBron James a lot. He knows his shooters as well. He's got some lights-out shooters to pass off to with the LeBron James penetration. But hey, anything can happen. It's Game 1. These both players are great at NBA 2K, so could go either way.
And for you, best of 5, do you want to pick it, or is it too early for you, Ashley, Nathan, to put your money where your mouth is and say who you think's got it today here in LPL Studios?
I don't mind putting my money where my mouth is, mate. I think Paki is going to come away with the championship today. I think he will be back-to-back champion. But hey, I told you, my heart is with Mini Slug. I would love to see him. I'd love to see the underdog come through.
Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because this is game number 1 here in the grand final of the LPL Pro NBA 2K18 1on1 Championship. We will see the iconic wine and blue, which will be worn by the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the world's best player, LeBron James, be represented and played by Mini Slug. And of course, over in the white, the reigning champions of the NBA, the Golden State Warriors, will be played by the champion of last year, Paki, representing the North Island. Buckle up for what is going to be very, very hot here at LPL Studios. Let's get this one underway. Tip-off is good, and of course we're into this one with Mini Slug taking the first tip-off, and it's loose and it's out of bounds. So won't like that one as Corva rattles it and drops it, and a little bit of nerves early.
Yeah, a little bit of nerves, settling into your first game. You got to get those out, man. You got to be composed in this tournament if you want to take it out.
Of course, just want to say thank you very much for tuning in here on Multi Television. We thank Multi Television for putting this one on, and for all the gamers out there, will be loving the work of Multi Television. Of course, the other sponsors, just quickly, Flavor, Logitech G, LPL. We thank them as well for making this all happen. But let's get into the action as we see the world's best get swatted away. As you see Hood trying to deliver from deep, can't make that one happen. And just up the top there for everyone that's just trying to work out who is who, Cleveland and Mini Slug, and he is representing the South, and he is in the right-hand side. Nice little bucket by Thompson, and Paki in the blue, and here you see his face up there in the left-hand side of the screen as we see an isolation from the King. 2 best players in the world, head-to-head, and puts his shoulder down. Too good, too easy, but he misses that one.
Oh, and as you can see, LeBron James cold. He's ice cold in our first quarter of our first matchup of the South Island versus the North Island. This is intense play. I think a little bit of nerves from Mini Slug coming into it. He's running that pick and roll a little bit better, but he's just going straight to the basket. He needs to do a bit of, he needs to change up his style of play a little bit. He's just going straight in there and pushing that square.
Absolutely, Ashley, as we see here, Steph Curry, one of the best dribblers and shooters of all time, actually, and he just goes in with a nice, pretty left hand rolling from Curry. And of course, to your point there, at the moment, breaking down with the way they're moving the ball is Mini Slug, trying to feel this one out, but excellent defense here by the Golden State Warriors and by Paki, not letting anything get through the lane, and 2 very easy outlets to get some easy buckets for them. They lead this one 4-0.
Awesome offensive rebound there from Tristan Thompson. Now you can see that icicles stick around the LeBron James name. That means he's cold, which means that he might not make as many buckets, but he gets that easy and 1 rolling there for the 2 points. Their first 2 points for Mini Slug in this tournament.
Yeah, very good. Down the bottom there, of course, if you are new to basketball, this is the first quarter. That's where the 1-1 is, and that's the amount of minutes. We see a nice, again, Curry dancing through and just rolls it in. 4 points, hot start from a two-time MVP. And then we see the counter clock at 2 minutes 43. That is the minutes that are in a quarter. Remembering, this one is 5 minutes. And then, of course, over there, Ashley, is the shot clock. And that's counting down there with the seconds. So what does that mean?
That means that you have to get a shot off within 24 seconds. Now, if you don't, you lose the ball, you lose possession. If it does hit the rim, though, and you get that offensive rebound, your shot clock resets and you get another 24 seconds. So it's just about the pace of play for the basketball. Oh,
and someone is getting very, very hot, and his name is Steph Curry, played by T. Shakur Paki. So looking good in this one, nice and early. He leads 9-2. Mini Slag trying to respond with the best in the world. Pull up, hits the rim, can't get it done. Good rebound and outlet. Green out and just rolls it in. Something's got to give because Cleveland is leaking points too easy right now.
Yeah, Paki is playing a great basketball. As I mentioned before this game even started, his defense is something that is underutilized. No one really mentions Paki's defense, but it is so good. He cuts those lanes off. He doesn't let that penetration come through. And if it does, he's got those defenders there waiting to shot contest.
Oh, Tristan Thompson lucky to get that one off before the clock runs down, but he does, and that makes it 4-11. And good point. What is understated is how good not only is Golden State's general versatility on defense, being able to switch and move any player because they're so good, but Paki knows how to play them exceptionally well, as we've seen here, just making it so hard for Minislag to get Cleveland into the lane to get points.
Yes, now as you see here, Minislag trying to get that fast break, but Paki's defense come through again, and a nice little pass off there for Durant.
Good patience as well, as we see here. Durant pulls, fades away, trying to see. That's a bit of a heat check as we see Curry, who's been very good early. But again, to your point, patient, good on defense, moving the ball. And of course, Curry will always take those shots. As we see here, what can Hood do to respond? And it's again, loose dribble, excellent defense from Paki and Durant. Outlet to Steph Curry. Oh, he kicks out. He doesn't want it. Durant pulls up more. It's halfway. Oh, that was what I'd say, a little bit of an arrogant play, but he didn't need to do that. Take the two.
That was a logo there, but hey, he's up, what is that, about 7 points here, so he's allowed a heat check, especially with Durant, one of the best players in the NBA at the moment, if not the best player, so hey, give it a go, let it fly.
Let it fly, as they often say, if you're that good, especially for the Splash Bros, which are referred to, of course, by Thompson and Curry, and of course the Splash family with Kevin Durant. We see James muscling in, nice spin move, pretty, and rolls it in off the left, and that's what he can do. He'll need to start to cook if he needs to bring it back in. Of course, 11 leads 6 here. Paki, the reigning champion and the North Island representative, is up in the first quarter. Pretty, dancing, Iguodala can't get through. Great defense from Love, not favored as a defender, but of course looks good there as we see Livingston drop off. Good ball movement from the Golden State Warriors. To be expected, that is one of the hallmarks of their game. They're obviously always talked about in shooting terms, but actually they move the ball very, very well.
Yeah, all of them can pass, and you mentioned their defense as well. They switch it up on defense. Now, interesting here, we have substitutions from both teams. Now, this is going to be key in our matchups today, because in 3-minute quarters, you can use your stars the whole game. In this, you need to use your bench. Good steal there from Mini Slug, pushing up the lane.
Can he get a shot off there? Green can't get it done. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, here in the grand final, quarter number 1. Of course, the reigning champion just there in Te Shakur Paki, representing the North, and Minislag. A little bit of banter, a little bit of a feel out. I'm liking what I'm seeing here in the grand final.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Paki. I'd like to see Minislag just slow the game down a little bit, really get into his spots and use that pick and roll, because he's great in the pick and roll. He's shown it all tournament, but at the moment, Paki's defense is locking that up. So find the gaps. Where are they? Is it a pick and pop that he needs to do? He just needs to change up that offense a little bit and get some more easy looks, because he's driving into the lane and the defense is right there. It's like a big wall, and they're just stopping him.
Absolutely, Nathan. Ashley, Nathan. Now, of course, we want a big shout out to everyone that is both tuning in on Multi Television, of course, everyone that is here live in Andy's Burgers and Bars. It's great to have you all here. Hopefully you're enjoying this, the action. Someone is going to walk away as the champion, and it is getting very, very real as we see another quick 2 points to kick this one off in quarter number 2. 5-minute quarters, of course, as we see J.R. Smith. He can do some great things, and of course he can do some silly things, but when he's good, he is very, very good. As we see, should have been an easy putback, and he misses again.
Awesome interior defense from Paki. He's not letting him get any easy buckets. This is great basketball, great defense from Paki. Misses that, but offensive rebound from Livingston and lights out shooter Nick Young. Can't make it drop.
2 misses, and as we see down the bottom, out-rebounded by 9. You've got to do better if you, I believe you cannot give the Golden State Warriors extra points and turn the ball over, as we see here. Too good on the too good on the fast break, but great recovery here from Cleveland and from Mini Slug as he misses. Doesn't want to go back up, so he moves the ball back out. Smith, Clarkson, who's very good high-volume scorer, when he gets the opportunities. We'll see here as he calls for the high pick and roll. Doesn't need it, goes himself. Can't find it, kick out to Green, who will always fire. Rattles and rolls, can't get in, and we see another rebound and good outlet on the break, and this is what they've been so good at. Oh, good dish, Iggy with a nice roll in.
Nice bucket there on the fast break. But what I liked about there in that last play was Mini Slug did find an open shooter. That's better offense from him, it just didn't drop. It's good look, and I like that from him.
But you can see how dangerous Golden State are, and particularly Pucky playing with them. As you've seen too many quick outlets, too much in transition, they've got to slow that down. As you see here, every possession is such hard work at the moment for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they're missing the simple ones, Ast. Green is good, and that's his just. There's the first 3.
First green bean of our finals, and it goes to Pucky. Oh gosh, yes, as you mentioned, man, he just needs to slow down that offense, get some good looks, because he is finding it hard to get a bucket. Cleveland Cavaliers getting locked up at the moment. Clamp, clamp.
Good, and that's it at once. Smash. They needed something to turn the momentum. Basketball, of course, is always a game of momentum. Talk about it a lot, both in real life and, of course, in this. You've got to make sure that the momentum doesn't get out the way.
Yeah, definitely. Now, as you saw down there, a quick pop-up from our team at Flavor. Make sure you count however many times that does pop up in the stream, and hit to flavor.co.nz. Tell us how many times it did, and you go in the draw to win $500 if you are correct.
Nice alley-oop. McGee rattles it in and makes it 20-8. So, of course, for every response that Cleveland does, Pucky is straight back with Golden State, and he is dominant at the moment. 12 points, well in control, as we see here. A pretty move from the King.
Oh, LeBron James getting into the lane, doing what LeBron James does. Gets the bucket and goes to the line for an and one. Oh, he's a good player.
He is a very, very good player is an understatement. But of course, he is going to need to be good for Mini Slug right now. He is down by 10, make that 9. But of course, that's a bit of a separation in this tournament. So what he's got to do is go through someone. Maybe it's LeBron James, and he's got to go get some of those points. We see Curry, dances, pulls, trigger, can't hit. And of course, he's been quite cold at the moment to start this one. As we see a nice move from the King. He's going to respond again, and here he is starting to heat up.
Turning it up. I like it. I like what Mini Slug is doing, going to his main man in LeBron James, and he's finding some points. He's finding some easy buckets.
Ready.
Alley-oop from JaVale McGee. Let's go.
And you see a pretty move again. He just dances, and he's just so good. Underrated ball handler is Steph Curry, and he is just so good when he does that. And McGee rolling to the rim and bang. But look who's back, and that's him. He's the King. 11 points right now. He is carrying them on his back.
And that's what I like to see. That's the Mini Slug that I know and love. The LeBron James pick and roll isolation finish at the rack.
Here he is, he's doing everything, another rebound, and that's why he is a walking triple-double. Any time he is on the court, he is just dominant right now. Excellent, another isolation play here as he calls for it. What does he want? He calls for the high pick. Can't get it, doesn't use it effectively, but he gets a foul. Very good.
Yeah, Kevin Durant there with the foul. Blocking foul, couldn't stay in front of LeBron James. But hey, what a person to switch it up on defense, right? Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson as well, great defender. Korver driving the lane, dishing up to Tristan Thompson. He can't get that though. He ain't got the mid-range game.
No, he doesn't, and there you have it. Good defense again by Pucky, but a good response by Mini Slug. Remembering, for everyone that may have watched the tournament throughout here on multi-television, these are now 5-minute quarters, so a lot more time to get back in this one. Not so quick, so there's a lot more around basketball and your knowledge and IQ than just what we saw in the earlier rounds. We see muscling in for another 2 to push the lead back out to 9 here in the second quarter of the first match. Rodney Hood at the top, calling for the high pick. Thompson rolling, doesn't get it. Hood defended by Curry. Very good and quick hands as Curry gets another call for it. Can't do it, but good response from here, Golden State. Thompson or double T, can't make it, making everything hard at the moment.
Great basketball IQ from Parky, leaving JaVale McGee down at the center block because he knows that Tristan Thompson cannot shoot that. He can't pick and pop. He can't drop the deep mid-range. He can't drop the 3, so he's just staying back and protecting the paint. He's making it so hard for Mini Slug's drivers. And there's a charging foul from LeBron James.
Excellent defense by Paki and Golden State. Move your feet, shuffle. So I always say, don't use your hands and obviously make the ref make a call. Excellent from Paki. And of course, LeBron picks up an offensive foul, which means that Golden State and the champion Paki gets the ball back here as we've got 15 seconds left. And Curry just too pretty with a pretty move off the left.
Wow. Really showing his stardom there, Steph Curry, with a tough lay.
As you see Paki himself enjoying the spoils of his work up there in the top right. What can he do? Can he answer back to end this? And he does. Pretty from Mini Slug to get this one. 17-26, a quick outlet. Play defense, Cleveland, and rattle it out here at halftime in match number 1 of the LPL Pro NBA 2K18 Grand Final.
You know what? I think Mini Slug is doing great to be still in this ball game. Paki's finding it very easy to score down there, and his defense has been great as well, but he's only up 9 points, 26-17, going into the halftime.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a good point you make, but it's enough separation to keep him in control. And when you get into those grinds, those 1 or 2, you know, it heightens the mistakes you make. And let's have a look at the halftime report. Let's have a look at the stats, because in essence, as you pointed out, we're talking about the field goals. Very even, 40-50, rebounds very even, but that there, ladies and gentlemen, the AST known as assist, that's when you pass the ball to let your teammates score. And that is what is absolutely hurting Mini Slug in Cleveland right now.
Yeah, so you mentioned the ball movement, and that's what Golden State Warriors are known for, their 3-point shooting and their ball movement, and they're taking advantage of that. Paki's taking advantage of that. Those 9 assists, he's spreading it around, but I think a lot of those assists are coming from the fast break, which Mini Slug does need to look out for, because he's getting a lot of fast break points. He's pushing it up with his shooters and just driving the lane and getting easy buckets for 2.
Absolutely, and of course, if you are Paki right now, are you just staying with what you're doing, or do you need to change it up, or do something different?
I don't think Paki needs to change it all. I think what he's doing as well, I think his defense is winning him this game. He's getting stops. He doesn't even need to settle down into pick and rolls or plays. He's getting stops and pushing the fast break and finishing those fast breaks.
And of course, for everyone at home, either playing virtual basketball or physical basketball, defense wins you championships, to your point. Ast, of course, that is what has been so effective here for Tisha Paki playing with the Golden State Warriors. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the second half of match number 1. Paki, the reigning champion, representing the North, in control, and he kicks this one off like he did in the first half. Another steal, excellent defense again. It is all Golden State and Paki, and that is just the backbreaker to start the half. Call a timeout, do something, because right now the pressure is on.
Definitely not what Mini Slug wanted to come out from the halfway. Paki showing his dominance, playing defense, and he's got to stop throwing those inbounds passes. He's got to be safe down there. Don't let Paki get any extra positions. He doesn't need them.
He doesn't need them, and like we always say, is turnovers will matter. We're at the highest stage right now. These are the 2 best 2K18 players in the entire country, so every mistake is heightened, and when you're playing at this level, you can't make turnovers. That's what hurts you. And right now, like you just pointed out, they come straight back out from a halftime break and they give away too many easy points, too many turnovers. He has to work on that right now, Mini Slug, if he wants to get back into this one as Paki, the North Island champ, representing from Wainuiomata, is in control as Thompson just splashes another one to make it 34-19.
Splash, bro. You cannot leave his shooters open like that. I think all 4 of these players, apart from JaVale McGee, can spread the floor and shoot that 3. So you got to lock up those shooters. You cannot let them have any light in there, or they're going to knock it down.
Absolutely, but if you are Cleveland, don't get rattled right now. Plenty of time. Corv, one of the great all-time shooters. He can't make it happen for him right now. And Hood, behind the back, spins, pump fake, kicks out again for Corv. He doesn't want that. He tries to dribble in, looks for a better pass. That's a better shot, but Hood can't connect on that one. As McGee so quick with the outlet, and there he is. Curry pulls up mid. You are kidding. Take to the hole, Steph.
Paki's defense is so pressuring. He didn't get the steal when he looked to take it off from in that last possession, but he did pressure the shooter, and he didn't give him a nice look at that shot, which it missed, and he got that defensive rebound on the fast break. Again, look out for those inbound passes. You cannot let him pressure that pass. Get some screens in there, maybe throw it out to LeBron James across court. I don't know. Need to change up that offense there.
Very, very poor and loose as we see it there, almost deflected again from Minislag, but James double clutch and rocks that one to the rim and says, I've got to do it myself because no one's coming with me. 15 points for LBJ and Minislag right now, looking very good with LeBron as Zaza backs his body down into double T, looking for a kick out, finds Iggy back inside, pretty pass, good movement, can't connect on that one as Zaza misses for the first time in a while as Golden State, and they lead this one 34-21. Must play with patience if you are Minislag right now, as he does so here. Calls for the better play as LeBron looks to kick out. Can't find a good look, but everything is made hard because of the excellent defense from Golden State.
What a steal there from Parky Livingston going on the top and the jam.
Rocks
Love
it in.
it.
Everyone is just standing and clapping and loving the performance so far that Paki is putting on as a champion should right now, leading this one by a margin that is just growing by the second as we see a quick response from Rodney Hood, and every bucket will count. Plenty of time in a basketball match though, Ashley.
Exactly. We've got 5-minute quarters rocking and rolling for this finals matchup, so you've got time to get back. You just got to claw yourself back. You got to play some good defense, get some stops. As we said, defense wins championships. Oh, cannot leave shooters open like that.
And that's what will happen.
Nick Young.
Splash, Nick Young, 39-23. Excellent movement, excellent play by Paki, and he's just making it look easy. Cleveland have got to stop this. It starts with defense, as you see LeBron, pretty, and just blocked again. That's another excellent defensive read. Iggy with the response. Takes his time, and that's a good foul from Thompson, and as he takes Iggy to the line.
Yes, nice. It is a good foul, but it's just beautiful basketball play from Paki. He knows how to break down that defense, find his shooters in the corners, and it's going to be a tough ask to get Minislag back. Cannot throw those. You got to keep composed. If you give another turnover like that, every turnover matters in this finals.
Absolutely. Greg Popovich, one of the great all-time coaches of the San Antonio Spurs, and Steve Kerr. Oh, pretty! As he just rises up. Great hops does Green. Of course, Greg Popovich, the mentor for Steve Kerr and the coach of the Golden State Warriors, and of course he always talks about don't take good shots, take great shots, and that's sort of the momentum, move the ball, and obviously you're seeing it here with Golden State, which makes them so deadly. You could settle for that okay shot, and they don't. They move it wide open, as we saw with Young before. He's just putting on a clinic right now.
Yeah, and the worst thing about it for Minislag is, yeah, he is putting on a clinic on the offense, but his defense is just as good.
It's excellent right now, but that's a good look, and Larry Nance fires away and just can't connect, and those are the ones that are hurting Minislag right now as we see a cross-court pass. That's loose from Golden State, and here's another turnover straight on the back of it, and these are what they call coach killers. Just when you get it, a steal and you turn it back over. Make that 43-25 with under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Paki, the reigning champion, is dominant and in control of this one so far. It is first to win 3 matches, however, and this is number 1. So hopefully you're enjoying this wherever you may be watching it across the country. My name is Dwan, and alongside me is Ashley here, just calling all the action for you. Big shout out to Flavor as we see another pop up on the screen. Logitech G, PlayStation 4, LPL, and of course Māori Television. As we count down this one, third quarter, 37 seconds into it. Clarkson dancing at the top, 10 on the shot clock. What can he do? It's a 20-point game. Got to respond to get some momentum going to the fourth quarter. That'll do it. That'll do it, and it'll roll in.
Yeah, Jordan Clarkson getting to the rack for the and-1 bucket. Good move there from heralding from the Philippines. He's a good scorer. As you said, a volume scorer, can get to the rack, can shoot as well. And he needs to turn up if this Cleveland Cavaliers team is going to come back in this game 1.
Absolutely, and at the bottom now you can see the bonus up. So for everyone that may not know basketball, what is the bonus referring to?
Yeah, so any foul moving forward within this last 20 seconds of the quarter, they will go to the free throw line, because either they've done 2 fouls in the last 2 minutes, or they've hit their team quota, which is 4 fouls, and any foul after 4, you go to shoot.
And that'll be very important from a defensive standpoint as we move into this one. Shot clock is off, obviously, because it's under 24 seconds. So that's 15 seconds. You want to take a good shot, does Minislag with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it's all about momentum. Still a quarter to go. He's not out of it, but he'd like to respond with a quick bucket. Here, can JR do it? Leaning in his iconic lean back fadeaway shot. Can't get it done. Hassan and Steph pulls up. Think that's late. Does it count? Not sure. I believe it was after the buzzer went. There's an official review. Let's see whether it left his hand before.
Oh, I like these official reviews. Bit of slow-mos in here. It's so official, isn't it? NBA 2K18. Going with the official reviews. Your refs checking out the shots. When did it leave the hand? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful game. First matchup. Paki showing dominance, isn't he?
Dominant, dominant, dominant. Now, Paki is the champion, of course. He won this last year, and he shows right now why he is so hard to beat, why he is the champion. And, of course, here he's putting on a dominant performance to kick this one off. Now, if you're a mini slug, though, Ashley, you've got to come back with some sort of momentum. Now, even though you may lose this match, it is a best of 3. He has to do better than this because he does not want to go into the second match 20 points the difference playing the champ.
Exactly. You can't throw in the towel now. It is a best out of 3, first to win 3 games. So he's got another 2 games at least to pull back this lead that Paki might get in game 1. And the momentum that you mentioned is definitely key. You don't want to go into next matchup being like, oh, I'm not going to win this. I can't even score buckets on this guy. You need to win this 4th quarter, and then you need to go on and win that 2nd game.
That's right. So that's a really, really good point. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 4th quarter of the first match here in the grand final live from LPL Studios. Green means good when that goes up, and now we push the lead, extends it to 21, and Curry 11 points plus 15. He is hot to trot right now.
Don't you just love seeing that green bean? You just 100% you know that's going to drop, and we've seen 2 from Paki and 0 from Minislug at the moment. Look to see that changed up. It's going to be tough to come back. He needs to get some stops in this 4th quarter.
Absolutely. He needs to show better, and he's been better in this tournament, and that's what he can do as Thompson rolls and off access puts it up off the glass for an easy 2. Make it 30-49. And again, to your point, 19 is far, but it's just point by point, possession by possession. It starts with defense, and you can't leave one of the greatest shooters open like that. That makes it 22. Beautiful from Thompson. Splash.
That's unfair. Curry showing his limitless range there. It's just hard to defend this Golden State Warriors team. They can spread the floor. They can penetrate the lane. They can dish the shooters. They can do everything.
Absolutely everything, as we see LeBron, 6 seconds on the clock, and he's got one of the best defenders, the Defensive Player of the Year, and Draymond Green on him, locked in, good hands, active hands, as LeBron can't get it off as the buzzer. Tough to not get a call there, but we see Curry come away with it. Good inlet pass to Thompson, and he goes, yes! Had to pause for a second just to feel that in the air because you could see it coming. Make it 25 points. Paki laughing, enjoying himself up there as he should. The champ is in control right now. But of course, Mini Slug, he has to come back. What does he need to do between now and the end to give him some momentum as we go into match number 2, Ashley?
Yeah, mate, I don't know, Dwan. I'm not too sure. I don't know what you do going down 25 points, a couple of minutes left in the first game. But you know what? You're in the finals. You got to recuperate, get your thoughts right, pick Golden State next, and hopefully take out game 2.
You have to do something, and of course it just is bucket for bucket. Build some momentum in your own mind as you head into these ones. Of course, just like any other sport, you don't want to be crushed mentally. Okay, you've got a game got away with you. It's a feel-out game. You're playing the champ. That's fine. Let's have a listen to. We're going to have a listen into Paki potentially, see what he's got to say. Just gone quiet at the moment. We'll come back in when there's a little bit of banter. Here we go, maybe a little bit of chatter between them.
No, it's stone cold at the moment. No chatter going on. The crowd is good. The crowd is nice. The crowd at Andy's Burgers Bar is nice as well. They're enjoying this live match 1 of our grand finals of the NBA 2K Championships here in NZ. Oh, well, that's nice. Little fast break bucket for LeBron James, but little bit too little, too late. But it's, as you said, that momentum. Even just putting that basket in the hoop.
Momentum just swings and rocks, and Durant, he's been quiet, but he's one of the best in the world, and he just rocks the rim. We will try to come back in the room for everyone who's always asking us on Twitch or at home via our social platforms whether we can hear the players in there. We will try to get some audio. There is audio in the room. We'll try to pick it up for you guys later on, so don't go anywhere. Here in the 4th quarter of the LPL Pro NBA 2K18. Inlet is good, and just a foul swept over. Doesn't want to make anything easy for them, and again, it's to the model that Paki's been playing throughout the entire game. You know, at the end of games, I mean, you play ball yourself, obviously, Ash, and so do I. from time to time, but of course those ones, even when you're up and being dominant, don't just get lazy.
Nah.
And you saw it there at the great defensive position.
Yeah, what are you doing, Corva? Get on the 3-point line, mate. You got no job. You got no job being out there in that lane, especially with Kevin Durant looking for that block.
And Curry, it's just all just flowing so good for the champ. Pucky playing as Golden State, representing the North Island, the #1 seed in the entire tournament, up against the #5 seed from the South Island, the giant killer himself, Mini Slug, all the way from Dunedin, playing with Cleveland. But right now, it is all one-way traffic here in match #1 in LPL Studios.
Dwan, what do you think Mini Slug needs to do going into match 2? What, in terms of gameplay, in terms of what, offense, defense?
Well, I think one of the things that's going to be very good for him is changing teams. I mean, we know in the game how good Golden State is in NBA 2K18. That'll help get the champs out of Golden State and gives them the opportunity to play as most likely Golden State. He's probably going to need to get it done. So I think that's the first thing, because it's too tough by the looks of it, letting Pucky play with Golden State. Second thing is what we've seen is too much one-on-one. I know that's a strategy, but ultimately it hasn't worked. And obviously Pucky knows he's the champ. He understands what's happening in each of the games, so he can't just run the high pick and roll. He's got to do something different. That's why I probably wouldn't mind him either trying a Houston pick and trying to run it differently. Golden State, of course, but something different. He's got to move the ball and he's got to get better shots, but going one with the pick and roll just hasn't worked for him.
Well, it hasn't worked out because Pucky gets to pick that off on defense. He knows that he's looking to drive. If the drive's cut off, if that defense stops that, he knows he's going to look for the pass, and that's where Pucky's just intercepting those passing lanes.
Absolutely, as we see Rodney Hood and Corva. This one's winding down, ladies and gentlemen. This is a best of 5. It's the grand final of the LPL Pro NBA 2K18 Championship. Right now we have Shakur Pucky, who will wrap this one up with 24 points up over Mini Slug, representing the South Island. Don't go anywhere, of course. They've got to win 3, so momentum can shift very, very quickly. But right now we will watch the spoils as we see Pucky wrap up this one. LeBron, just a pretty play, and rumbles his way in to get it done. So asked, of course, for everyone that is tuning in across the country, there's green, and that is just what they call a confident play.
That is just dirty from Steph. How you gonna pull up from there and get green beans? That is nasty. As you see, the players here just wind down the clock, run out of game 1. Shakur Pucky taking out this one and taking a 1-0 lead in our tournament, our grand final.
The grand final as we go. 4, 3, and obviously we'll count this one down. Excellent work, Pucky in control. The champ is hot.
He is hot. He is hot. There's no way. He was playing great defense, great offense. Everything about Shakur Pucky in that first matchup was brilliant. It was awesome. It was clinical. He was in control the whole matchup. Didn't lose the lead at all. That's what we expected from our North Island champion, our #1 seed, and our reigning champion from last year.
He has been very, very good, of course. What's actually more surprising for me is actually how dominant he has been over Mini Slug. I mean, that was just a stomping. Of course, the quarters are longer, but he just looks so good right now. But of course, you don't want to basically get that in your head if you're Mini Slug. Plenty to play for here still. 4 matches to try and get it done. So he's got to bounce back, and he's going to need to do it quickly.
Yeah, he needs to get some momentum back in his corner. He's probably going to take Golden State Warriors next, which is going to be a good pick for him. Hopefully he can get it done with Golden State Warriors. Do the drive, kick out to your shooters. I know he's good with using Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. So, yeah, there's still hope for Mini Slug. Don't go anywhere. He's still got a couple more games to see if he can pull this back from Shakur Pucky.
Of course, what you want to do is stay with us. We're going to be leaving Māori television. We thank you very much for tuning in across the Mutu. If you've been watching on Māori television, all you have to do is head across now onto the online platforms, as we see here below, MāoriTelevision.com. And of course, you've just seen one of what could be 5 matches. So I expect to see you all back very, very soon.
for the players.
Flavor, beats that move you.
Yes, welcome back into this one. The beautiful Auckland weather has greeted us, and of course, the two best players in the country are right here in LPL studios. We welcome all our online viewers right now. Thank you very much for joining us via Twitch or MaoriTelevision.com, and of course, everyone out there at Andy's enjoying the action, I hope. My name is Dwan. Alongside me in comments is Ashley.
What's up, man? It's good game one, isn't it? It's exciting. It's been an intense first matchup, and oh, mate, just yeah, it was tough for Minislug to see. It was tough game for him.
Absolutely. So, if everyone who may have just joined us, this is the grand final. We've seen T. Shakur Paki, the #1 seed and the reigning champion. He leads this one. He played with the Golden State Warriors and did it comfortably, about 25 points over Minislug, who is representing the South Island. Now, of course, this is best of 5, so they need to win 3. Paki leads this one 1-0. Can Minislug bounce back, or does the momentum just roll on with Paki?
I definitely think Minislug can bounce back. I mean, you've got a whole, at least 2 more games. He needs to win this one just to get a bit of confidence back and get a bit of momentum going forward into Game 3. He will be probably taking Golden State Warriors, so he's got a strong team there. This is his time to bounce back. He needs to do it now.
Of course, but there's plenty on the line, isn't there, for the winner? Not only will they be the champion, but of course there's plenty of good gifts for them.
Yes, so we got a trip over the seas to go see an NBA matchup, which is live, which is awesome for these guys. They get a free trip over to see these guys play in real life. They also win $5,000 cash. And if the loser of today does go home with a pretty cash injection of $3,000 as well. So it's nice for both players. It's beautiful.
And of course, we had a special radio promotion, which I know that you're obviously one of the pretty faces that were on there from your day job via the radio. What was at stake?
Yes, so every time you see a little pop-up of our faces drop out in, I think, the bottom right-hand corner or the left-hand corner, count how many times that pop up throughout the whole stream, and then head to flavor.co.nz. Tell us, and if you get the right answer, you go in the draw to win $500 cash.
So we're giving money to the players, we're getting money to everyone out there watching this. Everyone's having a great... Yes, everyone. Let's enjoy it. All right, so let's head across. I believe we have Minislug. He is on standby. He's going to give us a few words to see how he can bounce back into this one, match number 2.
Being the top South Island person is a huge honour. I've gotten up here. I fought my way through a lot of matches, coming up as the 5th seed. I am coming also in as an underdog, so I've got nothing to lose. But yeah, and representing New Zealand as top person in 2K18 would be a huge honour. Not only the prizes, but also just having the bragging rights and saying that I'm the top. It would be just awesome. And yeah.
Well, welcome back into this one, which is game number 2. Of course, Paki leads this one. Now, we've switched teams this time around, so you think you may be watching the same thing, but no, you are looking at the complete switch here. So we will see the reigning champion, Paki, playing as the Cleveland Cavaliers, and as expected, Minislug has taken the Golden State Warriors. Very, very interesting, because we'll see both teams and how they'll play the different styles we saw versus last time.
Yeah, a bit of a mental game here, I think, from Paki taking the Cleveland Cavaliers. He wants to show his dominance, show that he can beat the Golden State Warriors with Cavs, as Minislug couldn't do in match 1. But hey, that's a hard ask. Golden State Warriors is a tough team to beat. As you can see here, Minislug playing that post defense.
Good defense to kick this one off right here in LPL Shooters, as we see Thompson and Minislug moving the ball, and they lead this one 2-0 in match number 2. Quarter number 1, they're 5-minute quarters. That'll change everything a lot, because obviously there's substitutions and a lot of wear and tear that'll go onto these players, so a lot more strategy involved than what we've seen throughout the tournament. As we see a great start, good response from Minislug as he leads this one 4-0 with the Golden State Warriors. But LeBron, being LeBron, he wants that nice high pick and roll. Good kick out, good look inside, rolls out for Thompson.
And that's what I was talking about with that interior defense. Minislug controlling JaVale McGee and just locking up that paint area, not letting any penetration, just like Paki did to Minislug in game 1.
As we see Thompson, Durant, a bit slow though, what you expect. Double high play at the top, 2-pick. JaVale dancing at the top, but Durant wants this ISO, only 4 seconds to go. Draymond's got to take a shot with 1 second left, and shot clock violation. So, I mean, interesting play. That's an what? I don't even know. I'm
that
speechless.
wasn't an interesting play. That was just bad ball, time management. You can't let that go, especially in your grand final of the NBA 2K Championships.
Okay, you said it brutally. I tried to say it nicely.
Oh, no, you know.
It wasn't bad.
It's still early games. But what you did see there was Minislug go to his go-to play in the set in the half court. Now, that was a play for Steph Curry to get a corner 3. He likes to get his shooters open in the corners through that play. I forget what it's called. Might be the elevator
Play where they lock down the double screens and they peel up the top. So good, 6-3. As we see here, LeBron, too easy. Oh, God! As he just says, hello, I'm here. 6-5, as we see another little tip. Lucky, unlucky to get it back if you are a Paki fan right now. But good from Minislug and a good start to this one as Durant moves out, and it's two loose turnovers. And of course, if in the finals and at all types of basketball, when you're at those high pressure situations, turnovers will kill your team.
Yeah, now to Shakur, Paki loves that interior defense. He likes to control multiple characters when he is in his defensive set. So Minislug's finding it hard to find where that defensive breakdown is. Where is it? Where does he go to? Where does he need to go to? Who needs to control that ball to get some buckets?
Pretty play though by JR, just runs and floats it off the glass for a 2, and now we see the momentum swing back to Paki as you see the elevator play called here. And what you'll see is when they move to one side, they tried it, but great defense here by Paki, and Clarkson, just to being clever, ramble that thing down. But again, good play by Clarkson to take a 9-6 momentum shift straight back to the champ. Minislug needs to respond quickly.
Yeah, now there is a problem when you start to do your plays constantly. Paki realizes that and locks down those passes. He knows that he's going to be going to certain players in that elevator play, and he just intercepts those passes in the passing lane. So Minislug needs to vary his offense.
Oh my goodness, as LeBron just windmills his way through and rocks it right-handed and just says, here you go, that's why I'm the best player in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Now we'll see the momentum come back to Paki. 11 leads 9, but this is a great ding-dong first quarter. Back and forth. Who will have the momentum? As you see it there, Durant says, I'm going to come back on you. Pretty play, makes it tied up with the and 1.
What? Did you say LeBron James is the best player in the world? I'm the best player in the world. Great and 1 bucket there from Kevin Durant.
Of course, Durant always goes at the king. We've seen that for multiple NBA finals. Great response here from Minislug to keep this one 1 point at bay. Paki moving the ball and out of bounds. It's Cleveland Cavaliers ball, so Paki gets another set here. What can he do out of the out of bounds play? Goes inside the green, nice and open for Corver, who usually makes that thing good. Good second chances by Larry Nance, which is known for hitting the glass. Clarkson slows this one down, calls for a high pick at the top, doesn't need it, pulls up and green means splash.
Oh, big bucket there from Jordan Clarkson. Can he do that? Is he allowed to do that?
He's allowed to do it. As we see here, play call, Livingston, isolation, wants the top play. Gone away from the elevator play, as you said before. The reserves are in now, so a very different strategy when you don't have your starters out there.
Yeah, Sean Livingston, great in the mid-range game, can hit up there and pull, do fadeaways from mid-range. Oh, good open look there from Nick Young. Couldn't see it drop. That's an unlucky miss there for Young. Like to see that one go down if you're a Minislug fan.
Clarkson patient as he goes through 2 and just rolls it in off the left to make this a 4-point lead. First quarter, match number 2. What can Mini Slug do to close this one out as he moves it wide to Young, and Young to Iggy. Iggy through the middle, pretty play. He should roll that in, and as he does, I was waiting for the big hammer though.
Yeah, Mini Slug looking very confident, a lot more confident using the Golden State Warriors. His defense is shaping up as well. Oh, corner open there for Jordan Clarkson, Sean Livingston.
14 seconds. Oh, turnover there as we see Bell to Livingston. Now they're going to control this with 8 seconds on the clock. Livingston will suck the clock and look for a pull-up to try to take the lead or at least tie this one. Can he do it? 1 second. Pulls up a 3 off the front of the rim. Great first quarter here at LPL Studios.
Yeah, a lot closer in our second matchup. Mini Slug playing awesome basketball with Golden State Warriors. Would like to see a bit more of Kevin Durant in the plays. I think he's a great isolation player, good one-on-one as well. Definitely can match up with LeBron James, but good first quarter.
Great first quarter from both players, of course, with momentum being so heavily favoured after match 1 to Paki. It's great to see Mini Slug take the Golden State Warriors and stay in this one. And we saw some momentum changes, but as soon as that happened from Paki in Cleveland, it was great to see the response back the other way from Mini Slug. And as we know, basketball is all about momentum.
Yeah, 2-point game in it, first quarter. A lot more basketball to be played in the second matchup. Great defense, but an even better finish from Green down in the post.
So we still have the second unit out here for both teams, with Livingston leading the charge, as he often does. He's a tall 6'9", I think, point guard, and he always controls it when he comes on with that unit. So that's a nice movement, nice start here as it makes it a 2-point game. Paki controlling Cleveland, of course, he's in control after winning match number 1, leads this by 2. As we see, great defense here from Mini Slug, and Livingston again, we just talked about him, great outlet, as we see a pretty outlet pass,
Swaggy P
rolls
bucket there on the fast break,
ties it up. So this is good, and it'll be interesting to see if Paki feels the pressure, because he wasn't under any in the first matchup because he was so dominant throughout. Now it's how do you respond when it's a tight game and turnovers are over there.
Damn, that's how you respond. Nice alley-oop there from George Hill. Pretty basketball, and the alley-oop a strong move to use in NBA 2K18. Quite hard to defend if you are using or defending as a player.
Oh, great pass in the inside, interior kick out. Iggy doesn't want that one. He puts his shoulder down. Inside and pretty play again. Good response from Mini Slug. Make that 20 all. Golden State tied up with Cleveland right now. Paki and Mini Slug. Both green means good.
Wow, Paki knows his shots, doesn't he? Passes it out to, as you said, one of the all-time greatest shooters in the NBA, Kyle Korver. You cannot leave that man open. You cannot give him a look. He's going to drop that every time.
As you see, Young, rattle, can't get it. But again, second chance points has been excellent for Mini Slug. He's been very good on the offensive rebounding front, and he's giving them those second chance points, which is helping him stay in the game.
Yeah, second chance points are huge in the game of basketball. If you can get that for your team, you're looking pretty good to win. And but in saying that, defensively, you need to get your defensive rebounds. You cannot let people get offensive boards and have more goes at the basket, more extra positions.
As LeBron just rocks it, posterizes Thompson, he just puts his head down and says, oh, just come off the bench, I might have to go home.
I'm just gonna go to the corner and just shoot a 3.
I'm gonna hide, because that was just brutal from LeBron, as he says, I'll respond in the only way I know how, and that's to splash a 3 in the corner.
And I was joking, but then he just went and did it. Good 3 there from Klay Thompson, 3 and D.
As we see the ball moving around, that's a good look from Hill. Can he convert? And he does. And you see a little bit more movement there from Paki. Better. Doesn't have to always go through LeBron. Still Cleveland can move the ball. And Curry pulls up as Curry does. Ooh. And he just brings us back. But Mini Slug, great response. I love this matchup right now because it is literally back and forth. Who wants it more is what I'll say.
Yeah, definitely. Great match 2 from Mini Slug. Staying in this one versus our reigning champion in Paki.
And that was a lazy layup by LeBron, as you saw him here. He was kind of loose with his left, needs to go stronger to the rack, and that's what happens, it just rims out. What can Curry do? Oh, he splits the 2 defenders and kicks out to Thompson, who's been good. Oh! And he's even better with a 3.
Oh, man, Golden State Warriors getting away with a few ones there, not getting to the top of that shot meter, but it doesn't matter because these guys are stars. They can bang those. Oh,
Hill with a pretty floater over the outstretched arms of McGee, and it makes it count. This is the thing, though. I hope you're enjoying this one on Twitch, and of course, everyone that's live and Andy's. This is a great matchup right now, 30 all, as we see Curry out to Thompson. Green is good, and that is 3 in a row from Thompson. He is on fire.
And he can do this in real life, can turn it on like that and shoot threes, 9 points in the matter of a minute and a half. Massive buckets for Golden State Warriors and Mini Slug.
Mini Slug is doing what Mini Slug should with Golden State. He's playing it to perfection right now, and he's going to the hot hand. Excellent. You see Curry wants an isolation, top of the key. Dangerous for Hill, because Curry is so good here in this 1-on-1. As you see the high pick from Draymond, doesn't need it, rolls out, looks for another sec inside, and that's great defense from the Cleveland Cavaliers and from Paki. Hill behind the back, pretty, can't make it count, and Curry of all people comes out of the sea of timbers, and Thompson goes for 4 in a row, misses. That was a heat check, by the way.
Oh, nearly an offensive putback there from Draymond Green. Maybe could have just bring that offensive board down and had an extra possession, passed it out to his shooters.
James does just that, and that's what he can do, and why he's the best player in the world, because his vision is excellent. Great! Oh, but Larry Nance just says, I'll take it, and I'll rock 2 hands straight in your face. Momentum back with Paki and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, this is just a topsy-turvy game. The lead changes are going in and out of here. Oh, JaVale McGee with position in the post. This is it out to Kevin Durant.
As you see Corver come away with an excellent defense from Paki, but loose and fiddly hands from JaVale McGee. It was a great pass, but McGee has got to get better. He's got to wrap that up strong. All the young big men out there watching this, grab it with 2 hands and get it strong. That's otherwise it affects you. And you see here, momentum comes back as Paki gets an easy one, makes it 36-33. 18 seconds left here in match number 2, quarter number 2, heading into halftime. What can Mini Slug do to respond right now as he calls an isolation at the top of the key with Curry dancing slowly, sizing up Clarkson right to left, waits again, 6 seconds on the clock. He wants a good one. He doesn't. He floaters in, kicks it out to Green, and what can Green do? Rattles out. McGee, before it just doesn't make it happen. 36-33, Paki leads this one over Mini Slug here in LPL Studios.
Yeah, great second half there, first half there from Mini Slug. Awesome movement, awesome play there. And it's good to see him still in this matchup because Paki, hey, he's up by 3, but if you just rewind back to that game 1, he was down 25 at the end of that game. So Mini Slug still in this one, and it's good to see. He's using Golden State Warriors as well, shooting lights out with Klay Thompson. Great ball movement and great shooting.
And here we have it. If you have a look at the stats here, 36 for Paki, and the Cleveland Cavaliers leads the Warriors and Mini Slug at 33. Field goal very similar, assists very similar, but that is it there. The rebound's been very good with the Warriors, but it's the steals and the possession that Paki has done. So nothing in this one for me. Looks very close heading into halftime. Anyone's game right now here in match number 2 inside the studio. Of course, both the 2 stars are leading 6 and 5 with Steph and LeBron. So what needs to happen right now for either player to get this game?
I think if you're either Paki or Mini Slug, you just need to compose yourself, keep penetrating the lane and using and finding those shooters. If you're Paki, LeBron James, he's your man. Go to him, get some isolation balls, some pick and rolls. And if you're Mini Slug, I love the shooting. Keep shooting. If you get that ball in Klay Thompson's hands, let it fly. Steph Curry, let it fly. Kevin Durant, let it fly.
Well, that's pretty easy from the coach over here. Let it fly. I'd love to play for your basketball team. Let it fly, let it fly. As we see both the players, a little bit of chatter, but of course, a lot of nerves on at stake. It is the big one right here in LPL Shooters. It's the grand final of the LPL Pro NBA 2K 1on1 Championship. As we get into this one, it is the big one because momentum cannot go either way. You have to have Mini Slug respond and does want to go on to match number 3, 2-0 down.
Yeah, the thing I appreciate about Paki is he knows his players so well. Like Tristan Thompson, I'm not going to pull that mid-range if I'm playing 2K, but he knows that he can make that and he's going to get that, and he just does it so well.
And he knows his players very well, and that's part of obviously understanding this game really well, is understand the plays. Oh, that is pretty as LeBron rocks through to the middle with a 2-hand flush and keeps it strong here. Does Paki with LeBron James, pushes it out to a 4-point lead. 40 leads 36 here in the grand final. Big shout out, of course, to all the sponsors: Flavor, Logitech G, PlayStation 4 Pro, of course, Māori Television, for getting this one done. Big shout out to everyone that's tuning in and watching us on Twitch. I see a lot of the ex-players in the Notorious God, Airborne. Thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully you're enjoying it, and we appreciated you being in the tournament. Now we see another 3 and starts to push up. This is where Mini Slug's got to respond. Can't let the champ get away is what I'll say.
No, this is a massive game for Mini Slug game 2. Paki up 1-0 in our grand finals. So Mini Slug, more pressure on him at the moment. He is using Golden State Warriors as well. As you see Steph Curry driving the lane and getting blocked by Kevin Love. You don't see that too often, Kevin Love turning up on defense.
LBJ just pulling up with the green. And when he hits green, that means good. And of course, LBJ gets that one. And now we start to see this momentum I keep talking about. The shift comes back, 6 points, has to respond. If your mini slug, do not let Paki get out in front. Of course, interesting lineup right now. We've got some of the starters and some of the second unit for both teams out there. And I guess each one, what, Heaven?
No, sorry, mate. I just hit you by accident because I was saying those plays, they don't seem to work because Shakur Paki is very, very good with his basketball IQ. He understands where they want and where they want that ball, and he goes into the passing lanes and gets those steals.
And it's piece by piece. It's possession after possession, as we see here, Ashley. And now we've just gone from a 4 to 6 to 8. And this is where the stop has to happen if you're Golden State. And of course, if you're Cleveland, these are the killers as you get second points. If you're a Paki fan, you're riding this wave and going, let's go more. It's LeBron. Pretty fades away. There's another rebound from Double T. Box out Golden State, a mini slug. Otherwise, it's going to be a long day here in LPL shooters as LeBron goes out, kicks out to Hood. Hood doesn't want it. Love back to Hood in the corner. Hood with his favored left hand, of course, and they're giving it back to the king. James, 8-7 on the clock. What can he do? Fades over 3 and just goes, can I get it done? Of course he can.
Oh, that is a dirty, dirty fadeaway there from LeBron James. You can't be going out and do that over the defense like that. Great play there from LeBron James. He's just an animal out there, the best player in the NBA at the moment.
And Paki is the best player in this tournament from last year. Of course, he is the reigning champ, and Mini Slug wants to take him down. What can he do here in this important match number 2? He needs momentum back with him. He's down by 10. How can he respond? As we see here, a little miss again from Golden State. Good outlet as we see Cleveland on the run, and James pumps inside. Good kick out. Great movement here from Paki, changing it up, moving away from what has been a favored pick and roll to just beautiful ball movement.
Oh.
And of course, LeBron left hand and starting to run. Excellent, excellent play by Paki.
Yeah, great ball movement there. LeBron James showing us what LeBron James does. If he gets even close to that lane, it is so hard to stop him. Any defender out there is struggling. And that was just a tough, tough lay and a great all-star play from LeBron James to get that bucket.
Oh, there he is. Steph Curry, two-time MVP, rolling it in, and obviously gives him his signature salute to the crowd. And maybe that's going to get them going. It's only 10 points. Plenty of time here as we have 5-minute quarters in this, the grand final. But they've got to stop the easy points right now and just don't let them roll in for easy defensive plays like that.
Yeah, now we mentioned before, the 3 points. He was getting great shots, getting good open looks for 3. He's gone away from that. I'm talking about Mini Slug here, going back to the pick and roll. Love to see him get those shooters open again.
There he is, and to your point there, penetration and kick, unlucky for Iguodala. I mean, he can make some of those, but of course you'd much rather Durant or Thompson on the end of that one, as we see Paki just being very dominant. What Paki surprisingly has changed up almost mid-game here, where he went through the pick and roll. All of a sudden he's making 4 or 5 passes around the key. He goes in, doesn't take the easy, moves it around and then takes an easy one. He is in control with this team right now.
Yeah, he's bamboozling Mini Slug a little bit on the defense. He doesn't know where he's going to go. See, when you start to use that pick and roll, you know, okay, he's going to use that screen, he's probably going to roll around it, maybe look for the penetration. Now when he's got that ball movement, he don't know where he's going to go.
And there it is, and like I said earlier, find the better shooter, and he did that time with KD in the corner for a splash.
Paki's not going to be happy with that on defense. Don't understand why his computer came in there. He should be having that setting on so that there's no three-pointers, because that's what Mini Slug is looking for at the moment.
As you see now, a little bit of a change-up starting to be big and stay inside and use the bigs with Kevin Love just doing what a multiple all-star does with 3 seconds. 2, 1, KD pulls up again. Can he respond? Not quite. 57 leads 44 here in match number 2 of the LPL Studios. This is a big one. Momentum all with the reigning champion and the North Island representative and Shakur Paki.
Yeah, big third quarter there for Shakur Paki. He was only up 3 points going into the half. Now he's up a solid double-digit lead. It's great gameplay from Paki, and Mini Slug just needs to go back to what he was doing well in the first half, driving that lane, finding those corner threes, because the computer is crashing in. It's collapsing on defense and leaving his lights-out shooters there on the perimeter.
Absolutely, and of course you saw there Paki, good signs if you're a fan of his. He looks buoyant. Mini Slug obviously a little bit subdued there when we looked into the room. Of course it's tough. He's down by 13 and he needs to respond here. He doesn't want to go into match number 3, do or die, and so he knows how important this fourth quarter is. 5 minutes or under 5 minutes right now, and we will find out. Good pass. Good finish, rocks the rim, and he knows. Well done, Larry Nance Jr.
Larry Nance getting up in the air, stuffing it on JaVale McGee. You don't see that too often. JaVale McGee, a great inside defender, but Nance has got hops on him.
Here we go, as we see 60 leads 44 right now. And again, thank you for tuning into this one live from LPL Studios, wherever you may be watching this. Big shout out to everyone in Andy's, of course, and joining in the action live. We appreciate you being here on site and enjoying it. As we see Livingston dances pretty off the glass, and that keeps him in it. Livingston was very effective earlier on, so let's see whether he can get them back on track. Very well played by Mini Slug earlier on, and that's a deep three from Paki. Heat check, can't quite get it down. As we see a 14-point lead, position after position, that's all it takes. And of course it starts with defense right now if you are Mini Slug.
Yeah, Mini Slug, yeah, gotta get the stops. You cannot let LeBron James and etc. drive in like that and get easy lanes. Paki, good defense there, tough drop for Kevin Durant. But 11 points, Kevin Durant. LeBron James, 17, 8 from 12 field goals. He's just having a stellar game right now, and Paki using them to full effect.
And this is what I was talking about earlier with Paki taking the non-easy shot. He penetrates through the middle, waits for them to collapse, and then he kicks it. And so that is really hurting the defensive schemes right now of Mini Slug. As we see here, JaVale McGee, not a best place for him to be standing on the three-point line of all players. He needs to get under the hoop, and of course he turns it over with a terrible pass. As we see JR up the top, what is he calling for now? Love wants to head downhill, and this is what Paki's been doing effectively in this last couple of quarters, is using Love, using the big man inside. I mean, of course, Kevin Love is an all-star, and he's been very good one-on-one in that inside block.
Yeah, and he's also varying his offense. So last position he went to the three, in that position he went just straight up when he was on the inside. So it's very hard for Mini Slug to register what he's going to do when he's driving the lane. Paki really showing his experience and his dominance in this game so far.
Good, just there with the nice little tip in, and obviously good use of the shot clock right now. 2:45, plenty in it, but now it's going to come down to strategy, especially if they can get it within 10, under about 2 minutes 30. They've got to make a stop here as JR's wide open. I talked too early as he hits the one in the corner to push it back out to 15. And this one all in control right now for Paki. Mini Slug, how can he respond? He's going to need to do it quickly. He needs points, and points quickly.
He needs a lot of buckets. He needs to get a starting lineup out there, get Curry in there, get Klay Thompson. Needs to get that three-point lineup back on the floor so that at least he can try and claw back into this game, because right now it looks like he needs those 3 points to get it back.
As we see the Flavor pop up in the left-hand side, pop up again. Aston, of course.
You've been counting?
Oh man, I'm always counting, and of course we've got a lot up there already, so
yeah.
Hopefully someone out there and obviously online land and watching across multi-television would have seen it, and hopefully they've gotten, of course, that's for $500 if they can count how many times it's been on the screen. So great prize there as we see LeBron foul Livingston, and he goes to the line to keep this one. Of course, at the end of basketball games, sometimes you watch and go, what feels kind of slow because there's a lot of fouls, but of course it's really about strategy.
Yeah.
And it's very important, isn't it, Ashley?
Well, when you talk about the fouls, you obviously don't want to foul the likes of a shooter like Steph Curry, because he's going to make those free throws. But if you've got JaVale McGee, maybe real Tristan Thompson coming into the lane, yeah, you're going to foul him. You've got to put him to the line. You've got to make him earn that bucket.
That was pretty from Smith. Tried to duck under, but he couldn't quite get it done. It would have been one for the show reel, that's for sure. As we see KD leaning back and just misses that one. As we see a great rebound here from the king himself, and he just goes coast to coast, kick out, pretty play, and it's easy miss. He just gets it. He needs to make those ones again. I don't know what happened there from Paki in control just then, but easy miss. So that's a great sign for Mini Slug, but he's got to get points up quickly as he hits Thompson. Can't quite get it done, and there's another foul on Iggy with over the back.
That's the play. That's what's open for Mini Slug at the moment. You see that pick and roll drive and the corner three getting open. He needs to go back to that a lot more. Good rebound there from Zaza Pachulia. 1 minute 20 left in our game 2.
1 minute left here in the second match of the grand final. Loose from Steph Curry behind the back, and like I said to the young kids out there, don't be pretty and don't try to be a showboater. Get it done effectively. And of course, when you're down 15, you've got to make sure you take care of the ball. As we see here, Curry goes through, tries to go 1-on-3, doesn't have it. Draymond pulls it back out on the 3, looks for a set, gets a nice pick from Zaza, goes inside, kick out, loose pass again, and Young, Swaggy, dancing pretty. He'll take that one all the way back to Hollywood.
Yeah, you're going to get that Adidas signing deal over those dunks, man. Good play there from Swaggy P. Maybe a little bit too little, too late. Corver with the deep 3, couldn't make it. Oh, great offensive rebound and dish out to LeBron James. Couldn't make that one. Zaza getting some minutes in the end of this fourth quarter. Blocking foul from Kyle Corver.
Absolutely, here as we're about to wrap up this one here. Paki in control, the reigning champion, trying to go back-to-back here in the LPL Pro NBA 2K tournament, and he leads this one in about 30 seconds, 2-0 over the South Island representative in Mini Slug. What needs to happen, Ashley, as we head into this one now, which will be match number 3 and a do or die for Mini Slug?
Yeah, do or die for Mini Slug. It's very hard to say what needs to happen because Paki has just been very composed in this tournament. He definitely knows what he's doing out there. His defense has been swarming. Mini Slug, maybe, I'm not too sure, Dwan, I'm not too sure. I don't know what he needs to
see the
do.
King just rattle a quick one in with under 10 seconds, and this should play out. Yeah, I think there's got to be something here. Obviously, of course, when we look at the tournament structure, you've got a little bit of, you can't have the same team consecutively, so we might see a bit of change-up just in teams as we see Paki 2-0 in this one, rolling towards the title, and Mini Slug. Yeah, well, obviously the great matchup here inside the studio. And of course, Paki, the champion, leads this one 2-0 over Mini Slug. Very dominant in match number 1, of course, wins that one by about 25. And in that one, he pulled away, I think just now, he won over 10 points, which is quite a lot in NBA 2K18.
Yeah,
what needs to happen?
I think Mini Slug needs to go back to that first half in the second matchup, the game that we just saw. He was breaking down the defense, finding some shooters. He was only going down 3 points going into the half. But Paki turned it up in that second half. So Paki's just looking very confident out there. His basketball IQ is great at the moment. He's using his players awesome, like pick and pops from centers that can't even shoot mid-ranges, but he's making them drop. So it's a tough ask for Mini Slug right now going into game 3. Momentum is all with Paki.
Of course, it is a best of 5 here to crown the champion of the LPL Pro NBA 2K18 Premiership winner, and Paki leads this one 2-0. This is do or die right here at LPL Shooters. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, who can get it done? Can Mini Slug respond, or does Paki roll on through and take it back to back? Back shortly.
Flavor, beats that move you.
All my life, I feel it in my veins. Push it harder, gonna climb up higher. It's like I just can't miss. I was made for this. I show the world I'm stronger. Prove it to 'em I'm a fighter. I can't help but win. I was made for this. I was made for this. I was made for this.
For the players.
Yes, welcome back into this one. The grand final live from LPL Shooters in the heart of Auckland Central inside the Sky Tower. Big shout out to everyone that's watching on Twitch, on MaoriTelevision.com, and of course everyone out there in Andy's enjoying this one, I'm sure, on an epic day. My name is Dwan, alongside me is Ashley, and we're about to roll into do or die time right now as the champion, Paki, is leading 2-0 over Mini Slug, representing the South Island. Something's got to give. Do we get more than one more match, Ashley?
Oh, it's a tough ask. I've been having a little look on our Twitch stream, the comments out there. A lot of people are thinking that this is going to be a clean sweep, 3-0 to Paki. And by the looks of things, That's the way things are going, man. He's dominating out there. He's double-digit leads in both Game 1 and Game 2. He beat Golden State Warriors just before, so... Yeah, maybe a clean sweep, maybe.
Maybe, well, we shall see. I'm sure everyone in the South Island, Mini Slug fans out there on Twitch or wherever you may be watching this are going, look, I've got my boy and hopefully he can bring one back to keep us alive here in the tournament. Of course, what's at stake? $5,000 for the winner, trip to the US, and of course to walk away as the champion for 2018 and hold that trophy high, which I'm sure everyone wants to do. Now, of course, just quickly, we've seen that they've now changed 2 teams and we see that it's going to be the Celtics up against the Rockets. And what's great about that for everyone that is a 2K fan, we'll start to see some variation in the gameplay.
Yeah, so no Golden State Warriors, which is always a good thing. You know, you want to see different teams in this tournament, but I think the Rockets are going to be strong. They're going to be tough, especially with Paki controlling the Rockets as well. He knows how to use Harden and Chris Paul, dish off to his shooters as well. And we got Clint Capella anchoring that defense and that center role with great screens. It's going to be a tough matchup. But also, the Celtics, a great young team, led by Kyrie Irving. We've got Gordon Hayward in that lineup as well, some young players, and Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. They're tight. All 5 players on that starting lineup can shoot as well, so that's awesome news for the likes of Mini Slug in this Game 3.
Absolutely, and Paki dominant. You've got to stop that momentum for him because obviously, as we saw there, he's getting jovial inside the room. He's sort of got that confidence, and we know with that lead sometimes for him, he just keeps on rolling. So Mini Slug really needs to come out to this one and make a statement. He gets 1 win, 1 can lead to 2.
Yes.
It's basketball, and then we're into a Game 5, and anything can happen. Yeah. But certainly, it's got to start early right now in the first quarter of this match number 3.
Yep, it will be an interesting matchup, and the pressure is on Mini Slug at the moment. Obviously, it's do or die for him. He loses this one, he's off home. He takes home that cash, but doesn't get the trip overseas and the title of our NBA 2K champion.
Absolutely, and we caught up earlier on with Paki, and he gave us his thoughts around the tournament and being number 1 and trying to go back-to-back.
It's a great feeling coming back to the finals once again. I want to go hard at this one, more prizes this year, and I don't have any intention on losing, so really want to try my best and see if I can crack this win. South Island do have a good pool, so Mini Slug's not exactly bad. He knows what he's doing. I just want to do my best and try to get the win. That's all I want to do, is represent the country and be the best in New Zealand once again.
Yes, here we go. It's do or die right here in the grand final of the LPL Pro NBA 2K18 tournament. As we see 2 teams distinctly different. In the white is the Houston Rockets playing at home, and they are led by T-Shakur Paki. And that's an early start and a deep 3 to get them rolling. Mini Slug will play as the iconic and one of the most famous franchises in all of NBA, Kyrie Irving and the Boston Celtics. Ashley, 2 different styles here when you think about Houston and the way that they like to run Mike D'Antoni's system very quick, shoot a lot of threes, but they've got great architects in the form of Chris Paul and James Harden driving that train.
Yeah, I really like the 5-out play from Houston Rockets. It's good to see that, and they've got the players to do that. But Celtics are a young up-and-coming team. They got a great coach in Brad Stevens. They got a great offense. They can switch on that defense. They're really trying to emulate what Golden State Warriors did in San Francisco.
Absolutely, there we have it as we see James Harden hits this one, makes it 5-2. And again, to your point around Brad Stevens and the Boston Celtics and the way they've got some great young talent. Very good on the defense. You think Gordon Hayward, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum as wing defenders. I mean, Kyrie's obviously no mug himself. People kind of underestimate how good he is defensively. But when you have a scheme, of course, Al Horford anchoring that, but when you have a scheme like that from Brad Stevens, it makes the difference. It's a great, well-coached, well-defensive help kind of defense that they run over there in Boston.
Yeah, so it's pretty much a battle of defense versus offense right now. If Celtics can clamp up their main ball handlers in James Harden and Chris Paul, Mini Slug could be getting a little dub here and go into a Game 4. But it's a tough ask in the sense that Paki is great at playing 2K. He's an awesome player, our reigning champion. He knows what he's doing, and a pretty behind-the-back move dish. Capella couldn't finish that off.
CP3 going all street on us with a nice pretty round the back, and Capella just couldn't get it done to wrap up what is a pretty street ball move. As you see Brown from deep, and he just makes that 3 and kicks it on to 7. Good start from both teams. I want to take the opportunity as well to thank our sponsors in the form of Logitech G Flavor, PlayStation 4 Pro, multi-television for making this one happen, and it's been a fantastic tournament. Hopefully it doesn't end too soon as we are here. Pretty from Harden, and that's what he can do, left hand, and the beard just dances and just makes it look too good. That is sick.
Oh, mate, that reversal was beautiful. Left-handed Harden, making it look easy, but that was a tough bucket there on the inside.
And just to remind everyone, if you're just tuning into this one, if you have a look at the top, you will see it 2 besides Houston and Tisha Korpaki. He leads 2 matches to Mini Slug over there on the left with Boston 0. It is first to win 3 matches. They are 5-minute quarters each, 20 minutes in total. So right now it is do or die for Mini Slug. He needs to win this one, or it is Pucky's to take home. As Harden does the same thing again. This is too easy, and that is pretty basketball.
Pucky breaking down that defense too easy. Mini Slug leaving the computer to defend, and that's what happens. Pucky knows how to break down that deep. Good help there from Capella, but an even better finish from Kyrie Irving, one of the best offensive players in the NBA, if not the best, running around now.
Absolute pretty with Uncle Drew, the skills he has with the ball in hand. It's like it's on a string as we see Harden, not too bad himself with the ball. Defensive 3-second call there. So what does that mean as someone that doesn't quite understand basketball?
Yeah, so if you're staying in that little key area, which is that red spot just around the rim, if you're in there for 3 seconds, you pretty much get a free throw shoot for the offensive team. That's a defensive 3 seconds. If you're on the offense, then you get a turnover.
Of course, and there's also another promotion going on with Flavor, your radio station, Ashley, and that's a pop-up that comes up here, and you just got to count how many times and you go on the draw to win $500.
Yeah, no, if you want to get that money, all you need to do is head to our website, flavor.co.nz, and tell us how many times the pop-up has come out throughout the stream. So if you've been locked in this whole time, that's very beneficial for you, because who wouldn't want some cash money to go home with today?
Absolutely. So let's get into this one. Let's deep dive back in as Harden moves it. That's what they love to do, and Paul hits off the rim, didn't bend his knees, put some strength in the legs. For all the young players out there, it always starts with the legs, not the hands.
Yeah,
when you got to try to get a jump shot, let me say that.
Oh, you sound like a coach, Dwayne.
As you see Pucky laughing probably at what my coins are there. I don't need your help. As you see him on the top right, him and Money Slug. Hayward, good to see him back from injury, and with the Boston Celtics, great player, great two-way player as well as Gordon Hayward coming across from Utah. 8 seconds on the clock. Uncle Drew dancing. Kick out. Tatum, but stagnant right now on defense, and they've got to do something as he just falls away left-handed, banks it in. That's a pretty shot.
Jason Tatum, rookie season, amazing rookie season. Very, very, very good player for his first season in the NBA, and getting a few buckets here in our Game 3 of the NBA 2K Championships.
Great first quarter for Mini Slug, who was trying to keep this one alive. He leads this one, rolls it in, makes it a 3-point lead, and this is what he has to do if he wants to keep this tournament alive.
Yes, now the thing with Mini Slug is he needs to keep this momentum going. He needs to stay with it. Oh man, Harden is just unfair with that reverse layup. Pucky's definitely exploiting something there. That Harden reverse layup almost unguardable.
And you can see Pucky in the top right laughing, enjoying himself as he knows that was a sweet move. As you see Hayward one-on-one with Ariza. Ariza, great defender. Hayward, better offense. He just can't quite make it happen as he needs to get that one. And here he is, the Beard again. He's on fire right now, and he's having it all his way, both offense, passing or taking to the rack. It's all Harden as you see him pull up, off, and he just can't quite make that one as we count down. End of the first quarter, Mini Slug, great response to try to keep this one alive.
Do or die time for Mini Slugs. He is down 2-0 in this grand final of our 2K Championships, but he's playing with his heart out there. He is up 1 point in our first quarter, so it's looking good for Mini Slug, but he needs to keep the momentum going. He needs to stay on this roll, keep rocking and rolling. The dangerous thing about that is that Pucky's got 15 more minutes to work.
15 more minutes coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, don't go anywhere if you're bucking up. And again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the players who are in the tournament too. It's great to have you guys in stream and everyone out there in Andy's enjoying this high-octane NBA 2K action as we see 16 leads, 15 here in match number 3. Mini Slug playing for his life. Pucky, well, playing to go back-to-back as the champion as we see it rattle off there. And we see Nene in the game and he kicks it out to Gordon. Gordon, a great player in his own right. Loose pass though to get started. Yeah,
now danger man here in the second unit for the Houston Rockets, and Tashiko Pucky is green. He definitely knows how to use this player. Was a lights out shooter in our last matchup for the conference finals.
Absolutely here, as you see, it's getting a little bit loose as we get into this one, the second quarter. And what I say by loose is, you know, they've got to make those passes crisper, make the right passes, just bouncing around a little bit here, and that will impact you later. But like that, that's a pretty pass, and that's what happens. Good passes lead to good buckets. That's what I always say, and that's exactly what happened there.
Yeah, Jason Tatum getting great position on the inside and finishing with an awesome little layup there. Bad defense though, leaving lights out shooter Anderson. He is arguably one of the first pure stretch fours in the NBA. Got not really too much inside game, but a lights out shooter from behind the arc.
Yeah, modern NBA suits him very, very well, and of course the Houston Rockets favor him as well. As you see here, Hayward pull up 3, 21 leads 18. Great match here inside the LPL shooters as we see Green quick, and they like to run that quick 3-second offense that Mike D'Antonio does, but they've got some great defenders. Tucker, one of the strongest, roughest players in the league, and he is very good. Same as Green, he's given them some good minutes through the years. You see, tries to double clutch. Nene recovers. Back out to Gordon as you see him go. Shoulders down. Pinned at the rim by Horford. Excellent defense.
Al Horford, he's such a great defensive player, and just in general, he's always in the right spots at the right times. He might not necessarily light up the stat sheet, but he's got the intangibles on lock. Great center for the Celtics.
Here goes Horford, nice skills for Silky from a big man. As you see Irving, spins pretty, rolls it in, and that's Uncle Drew at his very, very best. 23 leads 18, 6 points now from Kyrie, and of course, more importantly, Minislug trying to get back into this, the best of 5. Nene pump fakes, and just off the glass for an easy 2. That's a good big man move right there.
Nice pump fake, got him jumping, making him dance, and finishing it in their post. Nene, good move there. 3 points up for our South Island champion, Minislug, taking on Paki, our North Island champion, in our third matchup of our grand finals at the LPL Studios.
And if you look now inside what is a very tense environment, you'll see it go back and forth. There's obviously some, as tends to happen in basketball, a little bit of what did you say? Sports banter.
Yeah, banter.
Banter. Well, and basketball players will know it too easy if someone does something. They like to talk, so you can sort of see that was a good shot of it before, of both players, while respectful of one another. They know what's at stake right now. As we see Baines, the big Aussie, grinding down, and Scary Terry, who's been very good for Boston out of nowhere, is on the court right now. So a few of that second unit starting to get a run for Boston, and it's going to need to get their starters a bit of time to keep it fresh for the second half as Ariza pulls out, rattles and rolls. Nene, he's been giving some good minutes to the Houston Rockets and Paki as we see Green and his little cold flick, and Nene off the glass.
Nene is just killing them on the inside, getting offensive rebounds, and a good steal there from Paki going straight up. There, it's just Green dominating there, getting that easy steal, and those are those positions that you can't give up for Minislug. You can't let that simple pass that you could easily just hold off for another second give Paki another possession. And
what I find interesting right now is the fact that, again, loose play, but now we see Paki in control, and I think he's been down the whole time in this start of the game, and now you'll start to see those little bits. Does he start to add those points? We saw in the last couple of games it was just 2 points. You look, and next second it was at 10. Minislug has to keep converting on these positions. It's one at a time, and obviously he can't let Paki move away, and we see Paki making mistakes too, missing shots, and those are the ones that Boston have to make, as we see Ariza on the run, Green who's stone cold, Anderson, Green, and splash. 27-23, Houston rolling back.
Anderson giving them some great minutes off the bench, isn't he? The second unit, Paki's another one of his strengths is he's great at using that second unit. So he's got Green running the point, which he can dance on them up top. He's got Anderson to stretch the floor, and he knows his players. He knows that that's going to be money. That floater there from Green, he knows it.
And you see, I mean, this is what we're just talking about. It's momentum. And you sort of saw at the end of the last game, you can't let him do that. It was 2 points. And then all of a sudden, we're now leading by 4. Might not feel like a lot, but it's actually the momentum shifters that make it feel like that, because, as you know, that means you play stronger defense. You know, it means the other team are doing a little bit less.
You're more confident in your shot. Just everything becomes a lot more easier when you have that momentum on your side. Corner shot there from Marcus Smart.
And this is what you cannot happen, is you misses another easy one at the rim, and you got to make a defensive stop here. Do not let Harden make it easy as you pull out, pull, splash, not quite, rattles out. Excellent rebound from Ariza, and you've got to box out Boston. Too many second chance points at the moment, and that's going to hurt them at the end, especially if he wants to stay alive in this, the LPL tournament.
running the pick and roll there. Chris Paul, green beans, beautiful mid-range game there. 7 seconds left in this second quarter. Look to see Mini Slug try and get a little last second bucket here. Marcus Smart, bit of a fadeaway shot. It couldn't make it happen.
Well, there we have it, Ashley. We're here. This is all back with Paki at the moment, rolling momentum, rolling with Houston, and of course you know what it's about. He needs to win it all, and Mini Slug, it's all on the line. He needs to win to stay alive right now.
Yeah, it's a scary game for Mini Slug at the moment. Down 6 points going into the second half. If you think back to matchup 2, I think he was down 3 points in the half and ended up losing by double digits. So dangerous times here for Mini Slugs. Really needs to pull it back in and get back into this ball game.
And we look at the halftime report. Paki with the Rockets lead 31-25 in Mini Slug's team. But what's very interesting, and it's a very clear stat right there, it's the rebounds right now. It's the 13 rebounds, most of them probably offensive rebounds. It's the second chance points, and that is what is absolutely hurting the Celtics right now. As we're back on in, obviously you and I know that it is all on the line. If you are Mini Slug right now, what do you have to do to get it done? Because it's one half or you are going home.
Well, I think Paki likes to play a big help defense with his defense. So the shot that I see happening most for Mini Slug is when he's using that pick and roll and driving to the right-hand side. There's that corner 3 available there because Paki's defense is collapsing in on that drive. So look to try and find that shot a little bit more in the second half.
Well, here we are back into it. It is all on the line right now in the LPL Grand Final NBA 2K18. The reigning champion T. Shakur Paki from Wainuiomata leads 2 matches to 0. Playing with the Houston Rockets, he is up 31-25 over Mini Slug, representing Dunedin and the South Island. You can see him in the left-hand corner, and you can see Paki giggling away. He is representing the North, if you want to know who you are supporting. And of course, we've got some flavor pop-ups, of course, to win some money there. Ash?
Yeah, all you need to do is count out how many times that pop-up does show on the stream. If you've counted them all up to now, you head to flavor.co.nz after the whole stream finishes. If you're watching on Mighty Television or Twitch, wherever you are watching from, and head to our website, flavor.co.nz, and tell us how many times it showed up, and you're going to draw to win $500.
Easy 500 for those that have been sitting and enjoying the action here on a beautiful day. And again, quick shout out to all our sponsors to make this possible in the form of Flavor, PlayStation 4 Pro, Logitech G, Game with Attitude, of course, Game with Science, and of course Mighty Television and LPL. Let's get into the action right now, and this is what needs to happen. If you are Mini Slug, it's got to start with defense, and bit by bit, this is how Paki will dissect you, and now we're at 11. We went to the break at 6, and he's got to stop as Harden gets fouled on the way through from Tatum. This should be easy too for Harden to take himself to 15, and of course, drag the momentum back with him. Mini Slug must dig deep and play for his life, because right now he has less than 8 minutes to get himself a second chance.
Yeah, it is 2-0 up for Paki at the moment. Do or die for Mini Slug if he doesn't. Here's the shot I was talking about. That was a good little look there. Could have dished it off to Jaylen Brown a little bit earlier. He needs to be using that pick and roll and going to the weak side, the one with the one person in the corner. See, easy buckets there. Couldn't finish that lane though, Jaylen Brown. That's an easy finish, and those are the buckets that we're talking about if Mini Slug wants to get back into this competition.
And he's had a few of those, to be fair to him, where he's missed. And again, this is the sort of stuff when it starts on defense, and great little roll with Irving and 1.
Yeah, and 1 bucket. They're going to bring it back to 10 points. Mini Slug needs to work on this, use that as the foundations to bring back the momentum and come back into this game. 10 points down, our 5th seed, our number 5 seed from the South Island taking on our number 1 seed from the North Island.
10 points now, the reigning champion in control as he dances with Harden, the beard, who's too good, too tricky, and of course, the MVP, and he makes this one look too easy. And Paki in control of the Houston Rockets and knows what these players can and can't do as he extends the lead to 12. And Mini Slug, it's really about now. It's a long game, but he needs to respond and bring this one in and get himself momentum as we head into quarter number 4. And that's good movement, as you talked about. Green means good, and that splashes in. And like you said, Ashley, that's the move he needs to make. He needs to penetrate, look for those wing shooters, and he just did it to perfection.
Yep, just how Paki is clawing his way into the lead. And Mini Slug needs to show a bit of grit and do the same thing. Awesome offensive rebound there from Capella. And this is what we mentioned at the halftime break. Those rebounds, the offensive rebounds are killing Mini Slug at the moment.
You see Luke Mute gets the rebound. Outlets here and Harden, too easy. Someone's got to get in front of him, and he just dances. But good defense and good recovery on the transition defense there from Boston as he gets another foul. And I think that's just, you see Paki laughing.
And that's the foul that you're talking about. That is a good foul right there. If that pass had gone through, that would have been an easy 2 points. Now they need to set up. Houston gets to set that defensive, their 5 defensive set and defend properly.
And that's what Paki knew, and that's what makes him the champ right now. And he's in control. And you see this outlet, got to get to CP3. Oh, that is pretty, as he does a baby Euro and just goes off the glass and kisses it for an easy 2. CP3 making it look all too good right now. And Paki in control of the Houston Rockets, leading this one 44-31. Remember, it's on the line. Minisug looking at the demure figure over here on the left-hand side. He needs to bounce up, get some energy in what he's doing, and of course try to stop the pain that is being inflicted right now as Tatum rattles, disappointing again.
Yeah, disappointing again. Good offensive rebound there from Al Horford. Couldn't finish their second chance points. Let's see Harden here drive to the lane. He's going to go to the rack, and he's going to get to the free throw line with the and one bucket. Jason Tatum getting destroyed down there. 4 fouls. He's got to look. He's got to be careful. He might be getting fouled out this game.
47-31, 1 minute 30 left here. It is all on the line. The grand final here, and of course Paki in control, just coasting, and maybe, just maybe, we can see something with this nice move here and a nice foul to just try to get Boston and Minislug back into this competition to keep this alive to a match 4.
Yeah, definitely. Minislug needs to dig deep right now. He is down after this free throw. He is down. Let me count that. 13 points. 13 points. You've got 6.5 minutes left for your lifeline here at Let's Play Live, and in this 2K Championships, you've got to put it all out on the court.
But what I will say, it's been a fantastic tournament, Ashley. Hundreds entered, 16 of the best came in, all hoping to get to this moment. And of course, we're down to 2. The reigning champ still here, and obviously in control, and Minislug, the giant killer. So overall, what a fantastic tournament for 2K players across the land. They must have loved this one.
And you will potentially be bringing this back next year for everybody that's tuning in on Twitch and Māori Television Live and thinking, you know what, I could be in this tournament today. I would love to be in this. Are we locking that in?
Absolutely. Let's lock that in. I think it needs to come back, and of course, I know the RPL crew would love to bring this one back. So it'll be back for 2K19 next year. And again, another big shout out to Flavor for supporting us here, and both execution for Andy's right here outside the studio, and of course for yourself, mate.
Yeah, great tournament here, and I think it's also for gamers as well. They get that opportunity to be on the big screen, to be on Māori Television, to be on the streams, for everybody to be watching them. The gamers in New Zealand, and it's an awesome thing we got going here.
Here we go, back at 38 seconds, 15 on the shot clock as he turns over. 2 loose, out of bounds play was poor execution as we see Paki cross court, dangerous pass but beautiful in the end to Gordon. He just crosses him so sweetly, 1-on-1, and that makes it 54. And you can see here now, as you've seen, it's a 20-point lead, and we talked about how it just kept chipping away, and almost you blink and Paki's up an extra 10. Minislug must dig deep, and he must come back, and all he needs to do, it is a 5-minute, not 3 like we've seen in the other matches. He's got 5 minutes about to come up. He needs to put this thing, get a few stops here, and he needs to make a bucket on the way out. And that starts with a great defensive stop.
There you go. Got to start with the defense, and then get your buckets on your fast break. Finish that. And Morris cannot finish that fast break. And Minislug looking pretty disappointed in here, down 20 points going into the 4th quarter of Game 3. Paki takes this one out. He takes home the championship, $5,000 and a trip over to America. And if Minislug wins it, he's back. He's got a Game 4.
Game 4 depends on how you look at it, whether you're favouring the North. Everyone at home watching this is a lot of North Island fans. Of course, the South Island doesn't want it to end. I'm sure all the Paki fans blowing up on the stream now, they can see that the champ may be back for back-to-back. And as we know, in all sport, and certainly here in gaming and esports, it's hard to do anything back-to-back. Fantastic right now. It's edge of your seat stuff here. Can Minislug respond and drag this one back? 18 points is the difference. And we see great defensive intensity here from Minislug, and great foul to slow down that transition.
Yeah, awesome foul there from Eric Gordon, stopping that fast break. No easy buckets. Paki doesn't let any easy buckets in there from Minislug, even in Game 3 when he's up 2-0. Oh, deep shot from Al Horford.
Can't get it done, but great rebound here from Eric Gordon as we see Green moving around Nene. Oh, double pump, you are kidding. Nene with the chest bump.
That is a nasty move for the and one. Parky just showing us all his tricks. Damn.
This could be a cakewalk home just to show it for all the fans of Bucky and the North Island. He might put on a clinic, but of course, Minisag, can he respond? Plenty of time, and all he needs is a couple of good quick buckets, but he's got to do better than that if he wants to keep this one alive with almost 4 minutes left. Wide open, it's Green. Dances, pretty, left hand. That is just showboating at its best.
Yeah, that's his go-to move this in this game 3, the reverse, and it's working every time. Green, Harden, Nene, whoever's doing that reverse, it is dropping. Minislug driving into the lane, had the corner 3 open, but decided to go with the mid-range. Couldn't drop it.
Couldn't drop it, and just want to quickly just take the opportunity to thank all the ex-players in the stream who are enjoying it and supporting their players. You know, we've got Airborne in there, Notorious God, of course, Rizzler. Big shout out to all you guys, and again, appreciate you guys being in the tournament, adding to what has been a fantastic tournament. It's great to see you guys here taking the time out to support fellow players and be amongst it. And again, sorry if I'm missing anyone that's in there. I'm just trying to follow all this hot action as we see Tatum pull up, splash. He's good, very good.
Splash, 21-point game, 4 minutes left in the 4th quarter. It's going to be a steep hill for Minislug to climb to get back into this. And it starts with defense. Ooh, nearly a big putback though from Capella. Missing that though.
Tatum, pull up. Good defense, calls for the pick, doesn't need it, goes under it, pull out, kick out in the corner, and he just goes, can't quite get it done. Can Brown in the corner. Tatum though, he's been good in this game and gets a wrap, looks for the roll there, good penetration, good high pick and roll, and you see Tatum swat it away. Excellent from Paki, giving them nothing, even at this late stage of the tournament. Defense wins championships. We've said it the whole time, we say it all the time in sport, and Paki has been excellent offensively, clearly, but he has been just as good defensively, and to me that is what the difference has been across all these 3 matches, and why, for example, he's now up 21.
Yeah, Paki just knows how to go to the passing lanes. He understands what players are looking for and what shots they want, and he uses that to his advantage and stops the passes in the passing lane. He gets strips and great defensive positioning, gets blocks.
He does, and of course, I just want to say as well, Tropic Superstar, I haven't forgotten you, buddy. You was fantastic, obviously, as you pointed out, rightfully so. You were in the South Island finals, so sorry to miss you just there, buddy. We do appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully you're enjoying my call and Ashley's call here, live in LPL Studios, as we roll into this, the final 2.5 minutes of what looks to be a showboating extravaganza from the reigning champ, as he just is coming here with 22 points, putting on the show so everyone can enjoy the work he has put in and the clinic he is putting down throughout the entire tournament to go back to back.
Yeah, all props to Paki. He deserves to be showing off a little bit. He's played a great 2 games. Looks like he's going to have an even better 3rd game and take home this title of NBA 2K18 1on1 New Zealand champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, great opportunity to thank you very much for being part of this entire tournament. I hope you've loved the tournament. I mean, from day one, we saw Paki take on last year's 2nd place. That was grand final last year in the form of Tyceno. Big shout out to Tyceno. I'm sure he's in the chat somewhere. And you know, one of the better players in the country. Bang is Hayward. Oh, and he hangs on elbow styles. He thinks he's in a dunk comp.
He's just happy to be back in the league after that horrific injury in this season just gone. And it's good to see him back actually playing basketball. I think he had a preseason game yesterday and just got a bucket
Good to
in
see
there.
him back.
Good to see him
Good
back.
to see him back. He's a great baller, is Hayward. And back to the point, of course, it's been a fantastic tournament. Paki from day one playing Tyceno, and that was really, could have gone either way, and then we saw him start to build momentum. No disrespect to Minislug, clearly, because Minislug himself has been fantastic. A giant killer. Started in the 5th seed, not easy, and he's taken out some fantastic players, but right now, as we see here, it is Paki's clinic, and he is putting on a show.
Yeah, look, I think no disrespect to Minislug. He's just going to be happy to be here, be amongst this gaming environment, getting to play 2K on television, on Twitch streams, taking home some cash as well as that. But Paki's just showing us why he is the reigning champion in New Zealand, and it's a great platform and a great tournament to show the level of 2K in New Zealand. So this is where it's at the moment. This is the best player in New Zealand, and Paki, back-to-back champions. If you're out there watching right now, this is the guy that you need to beat if you want to be the best in New Zealand.
I think that's a fair, as we see here, it's just showboating. Surely hard, and alley-oop. Oh, he alley-ooped it to CP3. He didn't need it. I mean, I'm sure I've seen Chris Paul dunk at some stage, but I don't think that was a cup for him. But you know what? Exactly like you said, I think everyone that's out there listening, to all the players who have been in the tournament, some who think they may want to come into next year's tournament. Understand this, Paki is the man to beat. He is about to go 2 times back-to-back, so whatever you say, all roads go through T. Shakur Paki from Wainuiomata. And that's no disrespect to anyone else that's been in the tournament, but he's dominant and he's your guy to take down.
He is your guy to take down. The Notorious got up in here in the Twitch chat as well, talking it up. He had a great matchup. So there's some players out there that can beat Paki. It's just about putting it all together when it really, really matters.
Absolutely, here as we see the clock counting down. Ladies and gentlemen, stand on your feet as we're about to see the champion of 2018, T. Shakur Paki, is going to take this one out. He is going to win it convincingly. 3-0 here in LPL Studios. Love the intensity. That has been a fantastic grand final.
Congratulations to Paki, his family and all his friends tuning in right now on the internet. A massive, massive achievement going back-to-back as our New Zealand champion, T. Shakur Paki.
There he is, the champion, one more time. Been there before, he'll take it again. Congratulations to T. Shakur Paki. He has deserved this one, certainly. I hope everyone out there in Twitchland has enjoyed what has unfolded here in LPL Studios for the grand final. It has been epic. I mean, I'm going to say, unfortunately, it probably didn't go to 5. People like to see that, but you have to appreciate, everyone out there has to appreciate the dominating form and fashion that Paki just put on Mini Slag and throughout the tournament.
Yeah, he just held himself in high regard. He was composed. He came through, knew what he wanted to do, wasn't mucking around in these finals, and swept Mini Slug from the South Island, our North Island champion, and our champion in New Zealand here for the 1-on-1 New Zealand Championships, T. Shakur Paki.
Well, let's head and catch up with him. He's standing by with Kimmel right now.
E te iwi, there we have it. It went down to 3 games, and in second place, all the way from Dunedin, e mihi ana ki a koe, te awa nui waka, Mini Slug, that goes to you, e hoa. Thank you very much. But the ultimate champion, the winner of this year's competition, our grand final North vs South champion, goes to T. Shakur Paki, all the way from Wainuiomata. E hoa. Right here. Now, back-to-back, you are now a double New Zealand title holder. How does it feel?
Feeling's great, but it's always been there. I knew how confident I was, and I just came here thinking how confident that I can get through these games, but I'm just enjoying the moment right now, and it feels good.
Now, going into Game 3, you didn't choose Golden State Warriors, even though you had to. How confident were you going into Match 3?
Well, the whole time I was pretty much confident, especially after the first game. My level was up there, so yeah, I was just happy, just real happy. That's it.
And I think it ended up coming down to your defense. You won the game through that. I mean, you were getting into that passing lane. Was that one of your main strategies going into this final matchup?
Yeah, my defense was probably a good point of interest in their games, but mainly my defense and my offense was actually pretty on point tonight, so I'm pretty happy with that too.
Well, Te Shakur Paki, e mihi ana he hara he kupu atu I te. Congratulations, my friend. Now we're going to come over to you, Mini Slug. It was a hard battle today, my mate. How did it go? How did it feel?
I was coming in confident, but all in all, I was just happy with how everything went. Not as in terms of my performance today, but otherwise, can't blame where I placed, and yeah.
I mean, if we look at it, you are the best player in all the South Island. You made it all the way to the finals. What do you put that down to?
I don't know. I'm just ecstatic that I'm here. I just came up all the way from the south, and yeah. And
no doubt we'll be seeing you in next year's competition as well?
Yeah, see me next year better and trying to aim for that number 1.
Well, you don't go away empty-handed, Ehua. You still walk away with $3,000. Nothing to scuff about. Hoia no e te whānau. There you have it. Our 2 grand finalists and our grand final winner, e mihi ana I runga I tēnā.
Well, congratulations, of course, to Paki. And I just want to say as well, we have to congratulate Mini Slag. Rightfully so, Kimmel said. He is the champion from the South Island. No disrespect, took down a lot of players from 5 to get to this point. So congratulations, Mini Slag, and of course, congratulations to the champion back-to-back in the form of Paki.
Oh, mate, it's just an awesome tournament, and good to see Paki there taking out back-to-back champions. As we were talking about just before, he is the man. He is undoubtedly, inarguably the best player in New Zealand in NBA 2K, and if you are a 2K player out there, this is the man that you got to beat. This is the man that's the best at the moment. So scrub up. get practicing, and come back 2019 ready to go.
Absolutely. I'll take this opportunity to thank all our sponsors, of course, Flavor, Logitech G, PlayStation 4 Pro, Māori Television, of course, LPL. On behalf of myself, I want to thank all the crew. I want to thank everyone that's participated in the tournament. I want to thank you, Ashley, Kimmo, Oreni, and of course, everybody out there that has enjoyed this tournament. Without you, it wouldn't be possible. That's me. That's Ash. Until next time, GG.
Oh, feels good to have another trophy.